Always there, AAA spokesperson Jonna Tidwell. Meanwhile, former President Donald Trump met by thousands of supporters in the South Bronx as he tries to flip the deep blue district red.
You know, the blue Bronx, it was quite red. Thousands of folks showed up, more than the campaign initially expected, with the former president himself saying on stage that he wanted to call it a meeting, but, quote, like it or not, this is a rally with thousands there. He called it a, quote, love fest from the campaign stage. And that sentiment, it was returned by those in attendance, especially those native Bronx residents.
For him to be in a place like the South Bronx, it's huge. I mean, you've never seen any other candidate do this. Biden's not doing this.
Those in attendance wanted to send the message that the Democrat Party has taken their vote for granted for too long.
Fox's Madison Allworth. They're trying to figure out what evidence should be allowed in the Hunter Biden Delaware trial over a gun charge.
Trial is set to begin June 3rd. Hunter Biden is accused of lying on a firearm purchase form when he said at the time in 2018 that he was not using drugs. Prosecutors plan to show potential jurors excerpts from Hunter's own book, Beautiful Things, in which he talks about his drug use and addiction. Prosecutors and defense attorneys have been arguing over what evidence should be allowed in a trial, including documents and photographs from his laptop. Hunter's attorneys are requesting that certain things be off limits, like mentioning child support payments or money spent on adult entertainment or escort services, that such salacious details would prejudice a jury. A separate trial on tax charges in Los Angeles has been postponed until September. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
America's listening to Fox News.
Well, the weather's warming up and summer's just around the corner. Everyone has a favorite outdoor activity: golf, bike riding, bird watching, long walks. Ask 100 people, you'll get 100 answers. But if everyday aches and pains are keeping you on the sidelines, I have one answer: Relief Factor. Relief Factor is a 100% drug-free daily supplement that helps your body fight pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor uses a unique formula of natural ingredients. It doesn't just mask pain, it helps reduce or even eliminate it. Wherever you're hurting, back, neck, joints, or muscles, in 3 weeks or less, you'll start to feel the difference all day, every day. So whatever you like to do, swimming, pickleball, hanging out in the garden, Relief Factor can help you feel good again and let you enjoy all your favorite outdoor activities all summer long. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF and save on your first order. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Fight pain naturally with Relief Factor.
There it is. The gentle sound of Let Her Rip Friday, baby. It's only me, it's only the Kimmer with Pete Davis, sidekick producer and sports raconteur extraordinaire, and the mechanical mangler at the controls, Flounder. 303 on 106.3. Memorial Day weekend in full swing, and if you're in your car driving along, please, you'll get there. And by the way, watch out for cops, and as they should be out there trying to slow people down. So anyway, we got a lot to talk about today, a lot of newsy stuff. First, Pete Davis, anything new in the mountains of Macon or anything that's a thing there?
I was just told by my nephews that I own every board game ever made except one.
And what one is that, sir?
Well, I had no clue.
Oh, God, Flounder, he did it again. Saturday! There we go. Threw me off my game. God. Joseph. Yeah. Flounder, how about you, sir? We got to say, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to stop
Just have to roll with the punches.
I know it. Anyway, here's the number, 404-741-1230, 741-1230. And it is Memorial Day weekend. And by the way, it's so that's a pretty serious thing on Monday. We will be off Monday. But we'll obviously have a talk show going on. The guy, Jimmy Fallon, I think was going to
he'll be filling in for us on Monday.
Outstanding. And by the way, today at 4 o'clock, Neil Boortz from Parts Unknown, probably down still around the Naples area in his house on wheels because he's getting his condo redone, which will take months and months. So Neil checks in at 4 o'clock, which will be very exciting, see what he's doing and how the weather's doing down there. This is about the time of year down in South Florida. Believe me, when I used to live down in Palm Beach Gardens, where the weather in the afternoon, oh, mercy, every day, pounding thunderstorms, winds, seriously, winds so strong that your car can be actually moved on the freeway. If you're trying to do 70, and it's just brutal. And of course, over bridges. And anyway, so I always used to try to get the hell out of there by about May 15th. It starts getting a little real iffy, and then go back around, a little after Labor Day or so. Anyway, whatever. So we'll talk to Neil 4 o'clock. Okay, 404-741-1230. Now, a couple things of it. We have a lot of stuff to talk about, including the Hunter Biden trials. Some more information just came in. Also, the Donald Trump rally. Man, I guess I watched probably almost all of it. As much as Fox could cover. And by the way, how come they had like a handheld camera with somebody's hand in front of the picture for like the first 20 or 30, 40 minutes? Yeah, it was unbelievable. They couldn't have known that he was going to be there and set it up in time. What the hell was that? I mean, there was a girl giving, somebody was giving the finger. There was some hot girl trying to take selfies and blocking the stand. I mean, what the hell? They couldn't have had a TV camera knowing wherever he was going to be. It wasn't very good planning. Everybody else knew it. I mean, jeez. Anyway, whatever. I mean, I don't mean to be nitpicky on a beautiful Friday afternoon. By the way, it kind of rained for a while. We thought it was going to be stormy, horrible thunderstorms, and then it looked like it. And I got like 4 drops of rain actually walking from the parking lot to here. So anyway, whatever. But there's still a possibility of some stormy weather. So be careful, especially if you're driving south, because that's where it gets hotter and it gets more dangerous. Okay. Memorial Day. Here we go. A couple of things. In fact, a couple of things. And Flounder, I don't know whether you've ever talked to your dad about this or whether it's come up or not. What do you say on Memorial Day? When people say have a happy Memorial Day. Well, Memorial Day is to honor the war dead, gave the ultimate sacrifice. So people are saying, well, there's got to be a better way. Here's an actual suggestion from social media that I put on the Google machine. Instead of saying Happy Memorial Day, there are alternative greetings to pay homage to the true meaning. For example, I hope your Memorial Day is meaningful. I wish you an enjoyable weekend where you remember those no longer with us. Please join me in remembering the fallen soldiers who are no longer with us this weekend. I mean, those are things that are great, but it's kind of hard to get that out. And by the way, if someone says to me, and I'm a jarhead, but if someone says to me, Happy Memorial Day, I say, I say Semper Fi and make it a good weekend or something. In fact, this just happened. I need service on my car, and so I called Scott at Schottenkirk Ford, and I got her. They're going to pick it up on Tuesday because the holiday's Monday. Pick it up on Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever. And so at the very end, we're getting to go, and he says, have a good Memorial Day. And I have a good Memorial Day.
I've always said either I'll say I appreciate your commitment, or I'll just put my hand over my heart and go like that.
Yeah,
open my heart.
But now, if someone says to you, if you may be going on a picnic with your girlfriend or something, or just say, have a happy Memorial Day, it's clearly not meant to be offensive. So I never take offense.
But at the same time, happy is the wrong word to use. Wrong word.
Yeah. Now, have you ever talked about this with your dad?
No, I'll bring it up with him this weekend. I'll have to ask him.
Yeah, he's the combat Vietnam veteran, decorated veteran, and to me, again, I never take anything like that personally, but I will think about it a lot on Monday, especially 3:00 is when you're supposed to actually kind of pay tribute at 3:00 p.m. In the afternoon. Anyway,
real quick, we got Brendan on the line. He wanted to thank you for your service. Brendan in Peachtree Corners right here.
Brendan, Peachtree Corners, Brendan. Welcome aboard, sir. Let her rip. How's it going? What's up?
Of course, my friend. And it's different than a Veterans Day, than Memorial Day, of course. But you have wonderful friends who, are no longer around. And I just want to thank you and everybody else. And, it's an interesting time because people like yourself served a country that is a bit different than what this country is now. And those who died for a different country than what it is now. But we just bless them all along.
Semper Fi to you, Brandon. I really appreciate it. Your kind words and your kind thoughts, even more important. And like you say, especially now, what the hell's going on in this country? I mean, this is,
Well, you're not going to ask me because it's not appropriate. I did not serve, right? I'm 46 years old. But I'll tell you, it's a country of the working class and the working poor, and no one in D.C. cares about them. And so that's why I would find it hard to ask young people today to go overseas for Mitch McConnell and Schumer and those types.
Yeah, believe me, there's a lot of us, including me, saying, if I had an 18-year-old kid who said, "Hey, Dad, I'd like to join the Marines," I'd say, "Well, now maybe go to school for a couple of years." I mean, I said, I'm not sure I'd want you in right now. Whatever the hell's going on in the military, and also I just had a little thing with the VA again today. So anyway, anyway, thank you. I don't want to make this about me. Thank you so much.
No, not at all. But when you drive around somewhere like by Beaufort, where the whole wonderful number of crosses are,
I know.
You can't help but cry and say, hey, these people died for a country that is no longer the same. And I'm not trying to be too gloomy, but oh, gosh.
It's appropriate.
Thank
totally.
you, and thanks to your friends.
Semper Fi. Thank you, Brendan. I really appreciate it. You go to the National Battlefield or something. There's a lot. I live right next to, if you're lucky like me to have either a VA,
amphitheater?
No, an American Legion or American Legion.
Say it.
Or what's the other one?
I don't know.
Oh my God!
Oddfellows Local 401?
VFW, Veterans of Foreign War. I couldn't come out of my freaking mouth. God, don't get old. I should go ahead and just say that should go camp out in Alaska when you get to be like, 64, and then say, because it's over when you can't get things out of your freaking mouth. My God, VFW. I mean, God, I was signed by my father-in-law in 1969. So I couldn't even spit it out. God.
Lisa points out, your grandfather didn't sleep in a foxhole in a far-off land clutching a picture of your grandmother so you could surrender your guns, you pathetic, weak-minded fools.
Oh, man. And I just... I thought about. I'm going to read part of one, probably the most famous Civil War letter, which is where we started celebrating Decoration Day from that. And I'm going to read part of a letter about it, and it reminded me of a guy back then in the Civil War. The soldiers saw what was going on and never had any indication that they would live, so they were writing letters about dying and what it meant to them and sending them off. My generation, and I'll bet Flounder's dad knows about this too, the tendency was to have what we would call a death letter that was saved, and then if you didn't make it, then it would send to your wife or whoever, so that you would explain all the things.
Did you write the death letter?
Yeah,
that's who writes it.
I did, but I didn't. God, sorry. Yeah, she never saw it or knew about it because I didn't want to ever have her thinking about it when she didn't need to. I don't know. It's kind of funny, but anyway. Sorry. Okay, 3:13. All right. No, we got Holy Crap at Sports, and in fact, we have an audio daily double on today's feature, Flounder, from my history list coming up. The one I asked you for with the famous thing that happened many years ago on TV commercial. That's coming up. Holy Crap at Sports. Flounder's funnies for Nuckies, Hoagies, and newsy stuff, and I don't know. It's all with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. It's freaking Friday, man. Be careful out there. Drive safe, safe, safe. Look out.
Atlanta radio legends collide on XTRA 106.3. The legend Neil Boortz is live every week with Atlanta legend the Kimmer. Because when you get these two guys together, who knows where we'll end up?
I am shocked. Well, not that shocked.
The Kimmer is live on your drive home every weekday afternoon from 3 to 6. And now Neil Boortz joins this show every week. And if you miss it, catch up anytime on the XTRA 106.3 app.
I was talking about a Semper Fi patriotic company appreciating the Constitution these days. My buddies Jeff and Mark at Atlanta Safe House. In fact, I keep forgetting to check my email and my texting stuff during the show. And yesterday's during the show, late in the show, Jeff from Atlanta Safe House actually texted me a message for me and Shannon Burke, who was on talking with us about something. If we ever need help, I'm here for you. I mean, you'll love these guys. Jeff and Mark, Atlanta Safe House. What a team. They have a showroom in Ackworth, by the way. And incidentally, we're almost in June, which is, by the way, very hard to believe. But, Father's Day is coming up. That a safe is a great gift for dad, especially if he's maybe a new gun owner. And if you want to make the whole bit, by the way, pistol safes are beautiful. Look them up on the web, atlantasafehouse.com. AtlantaLegend.com. You'll see what I mean. But those, I've had a couple of gun safes from Atlanta Safe House. They can drill them into the floor, bolt them right there in the concrete garage or game room or something like that, as they did for me. And there's really fun spinning that dial, keeping all your stuff in there, not just guns, obviously anything you want to keep safe, including things like your medical records. That came up today with the VA again. Or your living will, like mine. My kids know where to get all my stuff: credit card numbers, phone numbers, investment stuff, like I have, and all that stuff. Keeping it safe. Things you want to say, things you treasure from your early childhood, whatever. You know what I'm talking about, including your Social Security card. Tell them the Kimmer sent you when you check them out, whether it's in person at the showroom in Ackworth or looking them up on the web. Great prices, great things. They're the best delivery teams in America. And you tell them the Kimmer said so too. AtlantaSafeHouse.com.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911, online at stopmyed.com.
This is Dan Watkins with All Four Seasons. We've always been Atlanta's best at installing and servicing garage and entry doors, but you would be surprised at how many windows we've installed as well. So we're proud to announce a new division, All Four Seasons Windows. We now have the ability to make sure every opening in your house is safe, energy efficient, and looks darn good. So give us a call today to schedule your free sales consultation. Find out how you can decrease your energy bills and increase the beauty and value of your home with All Four Seasons garage, entry doors, and windows.
It's the time of year where the owner of Central Heating and Air, Santa Chuck, is bringing back the 4th annual Christmas in July, benefiting Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. Now through July, $10 from every new maintenance agreement will go directly to the Christmas in July program. The more maintenance agreements you sign up for, the bigger and better we can make Christmas in July. And remember that Central Services all makes and models. So call 770-GET-HEAT, go to centralheat.com. Carrier products, carrier peace of mind. Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier expert.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Hey Atlanta, it's Ben, host of the Weekend Ben Burnett Show, proudly brought to you by Peach State Pride. Each and every weekend, we bring you all the issues going on around the globe and what America's ultimate role is in order to drive our agenda forward as conservatives. And if you ever miss an episode, you can download everything I've ever done on Apple, Spotify, or you can go to the podcast park. See you around, Atlanta.
The legend Neil Boortz is only on XTRA 106.3. With daily commentary you'll hear throughout the day. And he's on live with the Morning Extra every Tuesday morning at 7:30. Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, XTRA 106.3. And catch all of Neil's commentary on the XTRA app.
Yeah, but he's on with us at 4 o'clock, so there you go. Look out. Oh, mercy. 3:19 in the afternoon, the Letter It Friday, anything goes with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder and Tina Turner. 1 year ago on this very day, Tina Turner's classics, hits like River Deep, Mountain High, What's Love Got to Do with It, and The Best made her a superstar. Tina Turner on this day last year died at the age of 83. She had a number of health issues, including cancer, a stroke, kidney failure. Tina Turner was dubbed the Queen of Rock and Roll, rose to fame alongside her disgusting scumbag wife-beating punk husband, Ike. She should have killed him a long time ago in the 1960s, with songs including Proud Mary. It was famed for her raunchy and energetic stage performances and husky, powerful vocals, to say nothing of her legs. That was what she was probably most famous for. She won 8 Grammys, was in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a solo artist, having been first inducted alongside the scumbag Ike. I feel he died and he's in hell already back sometime. Anyway, Tina Turner died a year ago today. My favorite was You Better Be Good to Me. Man, when I hear that song, I think I have it on my Music Magic stick. I think you might have put it on there. Man, when I hear that song, you can't stop moving around. You better be good to me. Jeez, man, what a good beat. Okay, 319. 320. Sorry, I lied. There. That's not it. That's all right, Flounder. I'm not. Well, I'll do the birthday while we're playing little Tina here. John C. Riley, 59 years old. Listen to the beats building up here. Love this. Here we go. John C. Riley, 59. Superstar. Heard with Will Ferrell. Talladega. I love when she starts reeling right here. Come on now. I love that guitar. I'm going to say it in a minute. Step Brothers, Talladega Nights, Wreck-It Ralph, that gang New York City movie. Here we go. Thank you, Tina. Tina Turner, baby. Shit you want, baby. Lay it on me. Let me have it. Give it to me, baby. I'll be good to you, baby. Leave your stuff. I got everything you need right now. You and me, baby. Yeah, baby. Oh, I'm going to use that lingo. I'm going weekend hunting for a kicky time tonight, baby. Oh, she got me worked up. Ah! Man, I love this freaking song. All right, that's enough of me. Good Lord, man. 321. Well, this is the nature of our place. Friday, Memorial Day weekend. People are traveling in the cars. What the hell? You know, join us, have a little fun. In fact, if you have a little, what are you doing this weekend? Are you having a barbecue? Are you doing something different? Do you do a happy thing or whatever? If you want to join us, please do. 404-741-1230. Now, this was fun, too. On this day in 1988, I personally will never forget the first time I saw this TV commercial for FedEx. Flounder, if you will, sir, from 1988 on this day.
Okay, Eunice, travel plans. I need to be in New York on Monday, LA on Tuesday, New York on Wednesday, LA on Thursday, New York on Friday. Got it? Got it. So you want to work here? What really makes you think you deserve a job here?
Well, sir, I think I might fit. I'm good at figures and I have a sharp mind.
Excellent. Can you start on Monday?
Yes, sir, absolutely, without hesitation.
Congratulations. Welcome aboard. Wonderful. And in conclusion, Jim, Bill, Bob, Call, Fred, Load, Dork, Ape, and Ted. Business is business. And as we all know, in order to get something done, you got to do something. In order to do something, we got to get to work. So let's get to work. Thank you for taking me here. Petey did a bang-up job. I'm putting you in charge of Pittsburgh. I know it's perfect, Peter. That's why I picked Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's perfect, Peter. May I call you Pete?
There's a Mr. Schnittler here to see you.
Tell him to wait 15 seconds.
Can you wait 15 seconds?
I'll wait 15 seconds.
Congratulations on your deal in Denver, Dave. I'm putting you down to deal with Dallas. Don, is it a deal? Do we have a deal? It's a deal. I got to go. I got a call coming in. Hi, Doc. Just dealt with Don.
In this fast-moving, high-pressure, get-it-done-yesterday world, aren't you glad there's one company that can keep up with it all?
You got a deal. Good. I'm putting you down to deal with Dick. Dick, what's the deal with the deal? Are we dealing? We're dealing. Dave, it's a deal with Don, Doc, and Dick. Doc, it's a deal with Dave, Dick, and Dave. Don, it's a doc with Dick, Dave, and Dick. Gotta go, Dave. Disconnecting. Gotta go, Dick. Disconnecting. Gotta go, Dan. Disconnecting.
Federal Express. When it absolutely positively has to be there overnight.
That, my friends, is John Moschita set the Guinness World Record for fast talking at 586 words a minute. He's the FedEx commercial guy. But wait a minute. 586 words in 60 seconds, which is 10 words a second. About, not quite. Well, 586 is almost 600 words, and 60 seconds is 10 words a second. A second, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, thank you, Flounder. That was pretty cool. Sorry. All right, 323, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. 404-741-1230. Mercy. By the way, this will be among other. We'll talk newsy stuff here in a second. I don't know why I'm distracted. I don't know. It's just I started to have a little emotional thing when I also. We got a couple of really fun stories in the news, and we'll get to those here in a second. Plus political stuff. This is also going to be a great weekend for war movies. And do you guys have a favorite war movie? Memorial Day weekend and Veterans Day weekend, I'd like TBS and not TBS. What's the other one? Turner Classic Movie, TCM, Turner Classic Movies. In fact, they're going to. I thought I wrote it down. I saw a couple of them. I've already got ready to tape record. World War II movies in particular. You have a favorite, Pete? If you had to watch a war movie,
I think talked about it last week. The Lee Marvin's The Big Red One is a fantastic World War II movie.
Yeah, Flounder, do you have are you a war movie guy? You have a favorite war movie, or do you watch Patton or
Sergeant York?
Sergeant York's another good. Yeah, another good.
Stripes.
Yeah, well, that too.
It's always good to bring a comedy element, I mean, it's a classic movie. And they end up saving the world.
Yeah, there you go. And they had hot babes. I mean, he's shuffling her with a spatula on the stove. That was one of my favorite parts, too, right there. I mean, I've never tried that until that day. It almost worked. What did it say? Settle down, Francis. Lighten up, Francis.
Lighten up, Francis. Warren Oates.
Yeah.
What a great actor.
Classic.
What's probably the best war movie of all time?
Well, that's a great question. Patton, maybe?
Patton.
Longest Day.
Patton,
The Longest Day. That's going to be. I always tape that, and I always watch it.
This was more of a series, but what about Band of Brothers?
That'll be on Banter. That was an HBO series, which was historically iconic and basically a true story. Absolutely. God, there've been so many.
The Battle of Britain is a very good war movie.
I don't know that one. I mean, some of the oldies like Gallipoli and things like that, which I haven't seen in 30 years.
I can't watch it.
That was some are tough movies. In fact, this morning.
Saving Private Ryan?
In fact, there are two of them that I don't want to watch, but I'm going to DVR. One of them is Saving Private Ryan, and the other one is Platoon. And I remember before I left the house, I kind of was Google. I think it was on Turner Classic Movies, 869, and I was looking through and I saw Platoon, and I started to just leave, and I said, "Oh hell!" So I hit the record on it, but I don't know if I really want to watch it. I mean,
Alan just called. He said Full Metal Jacket.
Oh, another favorite, Full Metal Jacket, because I get. Oh, not to me, because that was
those sets. He made London look like Vietnam. Please, it did not look like Vietnam. It looked like a Hollywood movie set. It's horrible.
Well, I don't know. I didn't have those exact kinds of experiences as
Apocalypse
a correspondent.
Now. Yeah. That looked
and there's
like
another
Vietnam.
one. Yeah, in fact, I've got Apocalypse Now in the producer's edition, or the director's edition, or whatever it is. Yeah. So those are all classics. Anyway, so it's war movie weekend. It's Memorial Day weekend. If you have anything you want to talk about, that'd be fine. And I'll mention a few things about it coming up here too. Yes.
There's one that's not American that you've seen that you like, Enemy at the Gates. It's a
Love that movie. That's a great movie. Very, very good movie. Well done. Great script, acting, everything about it. It's a tough movie. It's a good movie, though. 404-741-1230. God, it's already 3:27. There's a rally last night. And, by the way, I didn't know. Well, it went on too late for the CBS, ABC, and NBC and those guys to cover it. But I wonder whether tonight, or I didn't see any of those shows this morning, like Good Morning America. I don't watch those shows, and I wonder whether they covered it as an incredible rally and what it meant. And I think what it meant is just as important as what happened, and the fact that he was there and all the things he said was probably the meaning of it was more important than actually the words he said last night, I think, probably for what it did. But I was reading some of this one news source we have that I asked Flounder to type up to print out for me. The event, this guy writes, the event was permitted to host up to 3,500 people, but thousands more gathered outside. Instead of saying 30,000 people showed up in a bad neighborhood who hate Donald Trump and started to praise him. I mean, my God.
There's people on Twitter saying that the Trump people bust them all in.
I know. Yeah, outsiders. And in fact, he made a point of that. I think it was a CNN girl.
Actually, I've got some good audio here.
Yeah, play anything you want. This is cool.
I am looking forward to the response of everyday Bronxites talking about how they feel about him coming to their back.
Where are you from?
The Bronx, actually.
I'm originally from the Bronx and from New York.
I'm from the Bronx.
Right here in the Bronx, New York. This is home, right here.
AOC says if you're not a Democrat, you don't belong here in the Bronx. Right. What do you say?
I disagree with that.
I don't think she should be here in the Bronx. I actually don't know any Democrats living in the Bronx.
Look, AOC, look at the tremendous support for Mr. Donald J. Trump. You need to tell her that she need to stay out the Bronx because look at all the people around. Everybody say for Trump. I am a Democrat. And I belong here.
And who are you voting for?
Donald J. Trump.
What has AOC done for the Bronx?
She's done nothing for the Bronx. Nothing. Nothing's changed. Nothing's gotten any better.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Let her come to the Bronx and let her come among us people that struggle. She doesn't even know what struggle is.
I mean, for example, holy smokes. This was an amazing event, and there's no way that he bust in 30,000 people. I mean, please. But they'll say anything and do anything.
The other thing the mainstream media was doing yesterday is they took a photograph of an overall pic of where the event was, and they took it at 11:30 in the morning. So not even a third of the crowd was there, and that's what they were trying to say was the crowd.
But
these people.
Think of the dichotomy. Last week, the president went to a historically black college here in Atlanta, told them they were all victims, and America is a horrible racist country. Yeah. And yesterday, Donald Trump went into the Bronx and talked to a much larger crowd and told them, we unified, we can do anything.
Not only that, remember the reaction when President Stupidface was talking about the things to help the people, and they go, it was like 9 people clapping. I mean, oh my smokes. And Trump crowd last night. In fact, we got a lot of cuts. We'll play them all for you, too. And including some where they actually, that Byron Donaldson, I think he's got a future, man. He's a young kid. I think this is his first election. He's from Florida, black guy, very well spoken. He's on the, I shouldn't say that. He's black and very well spoken. It looks like Put It Down. Incredible. For a black guy, he doesn't look funny. How about that? He speaks okay for a black guy. Anyway, and I think he kind of represents Trump a lot. And boy, if he had been in Congress for like 10 years, he'd be on the ticket. Anyway, we'll talk about 3:31. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Friday, join us. How you doing? Memorial Day. Herb, look out.
When you hear Mother Freedom start ringing her bell, and it'll feel like the whole wide world is raining down on you. Brought to you courtesy of the red, white, and blue.
Legend Neil Boortz is live every week with Atlanta legend The Kimmer.
Why do we pay attention to these idiots?
It's a social media movement. They're swept up in this business. Now there are even divisions. There are LGBTQ for Hamas and lesbians for Hamas. I mean, oh my God, what are they thinking? They would not. You fly over there and see how they welcome you to the fold.
Yeah, they kill you. They'll throw you off the top of a building.
Boortz and The Kimmer are only on XTRA 106.3 and the XTRA app.
It is so important to prepare in case of any emergency, and there's one place you can do that, and that's True Prep in Marietta on Cobb Parkway. But before you get into preparing, you need to know everything that goes into preparing. That's why they have all these great classes. They always have an intro to emergency preparedness class. What about a bug out bag? Make sure that you go to their class on that. And also, don't forget, they also do blood drives, everything else. It's your one-stop shop for preparedness. True Prep, Marietta, Cobb Parkway, or online, trueprep.com. That's TRUprep.com. Prepare today for a worry-free tomorrow at True Prep.
Hey there, Atlanta sports fans. Home team Brandon Leak here with Sonder Health Plans. I've been singing praises about their Georgia-based Medicare Advantage health plans, and now they're stepping up their game with new health plans that include home safety and accessibility modifications. Call them up right now and ask if you qualify for their fantastic $400 grocery card offer and $0 premiums. Call 800-331-2928 or visit SonderHealthPlans.com. Sonder Health Plans is an HMO with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Sonder Health Plans depends on contract renewal.
Have you thought about securing your hard-earned assets? Do you have concerns about the future? Protecting assets is crucial, and that's where Nelson Elder Care Law excels. As a family-owned and family-focused firm, we provide absolute assurance and peace of mind through our trademarked Absolute Protection Trust, tailored services in estate planning, probate administration, Medicaid crisis solutions, guardianship, and conservatorship. Our goal is to exceed your expectations and empower informed decisions. Visit NelsonElderCareLaw.com for asset protection and peace of mind.
So, Robert, I want to thank you for your time. I just don't think you're the right person for this position.
I don't understand. Was it something I said?
Well, we did a background check on you and found some things of concern.
If you're in charge of hiring for your company, you know how helpful a background screening can be. That's why companies that use Horizon background screening make smarter hiring decisions. Don't let the wrong hire put your company at risk. Get the real story on your candidates at horizonscreening.com. Horizonscreening.com.
It's time to slide into summer at Truist Park as your Braves take on the Washington Nationals and Oakland A's May 27th through June 2nd. And don't miss 2 exciting giveaways like the Ronald Acuna Jr. NL MVP bobblehead presented by Delta on May 28th, followed by the Matt Olson bobblehead presented by Northside Hospital on May 30th.
Swung on and rocked down the left field line. Rolling down the line all the way to the wall. Braves will take the lead. 2-1 Atlanta here in the 4th.
And the CMT Hot Prospects Concert Series is back in the Battery, Atlanta, featuring up-and-coming country artists every Friday throughout the summer. Previous artists have gone on to great success in the country music industry, and on May 31st, Chapel Hart will take the stage for a pregame concert at the Plaza Green. There's plenty of fun all week, and no better place to spend your Memorial Day and the first week of summer than Truist Park. Visit Braves.com/promos to get your tickets. Atlanta Braves baseball. We are Braves country.
Looking for bold discussions on vital issues? Tune in to the Janelle King Show every Saturday at 3 p.m. with an encore episode every Sunday at 9 a.m. right here on XTRA 106.3, where we dive into kitchen table topics that are essential for a strong republic. Don't miss an episode, but if you do, it's all good because we have new podcasts that drop every Tuesday on the Podcast Park or wherever you get your podcasts. Don't miss out on these thought-provoking conversations.
Miss any of the show? No sweat. Grab your XTRA 106.3 app and listen to show replays whenever you want. Download the XTRA app now for Apple and Android by searching for XTR.
Period of time, I didn't even get a phone call. It was cold. Well, you're not an uptown girl. How about that?
About that story there in San Francisco, so that story was nothing like Billy Joel.
It was a piano and a guy, and I had a hot babe at the time who, you know how I picked her. Oh, no, I was going to tell the line I used when I seduced her.
I feel like John Travolta, that meme. John Travolta, the meme where he's going. What the hell did that have to do with Billy Joel?
Shut up. It was a piano man story. And
whatever. Keep walking.
Just going to tell you the line I used to pick her up.
Please.
I don't know.
You can use one. Times are tough. We can
back
use
to
one.
the actual thing here. Let's see. Birthday, Kristen Stott. Kristen Scott Thomas. Man, she was praised. In fact, this guy here in this thing says, luscious star of Gosford Park, Life is a House, and The Horse Whisperer, and The English Patient. Luscious star. Oh, my God, she's anorexic. She's got like a triangle jaw face or something. Oh, my God. She's Kristen Scott Thomas, 64. And I remember the Seinfeld episode when Elaine hated the English Patient. Everybody else loved it. She got you hated the English Patient. Wait, was that the one where Jerry was making out with a Jewish girl? Oh no, that was
Schindler's List.
Schindler's List.
Yeah. Schindler's List.
His mother caught him. Let's see. Let's see. 1941. Speaking of patriotism and sacrifice on Memorial Day weekend, 1941 on this very day was the Battle of the Denmark Strait. The German battleship the Bismarck was the German battleship the Bismarck. The British ship sank the British ship the Hood, the HMS Hood. The shell exploded the armory on the Hood and killed 1,400 sailors. They gotta sink the Bismarck to the bottom of the sea. Johnny Horton, big song about it, and that was a true story. And they finally did get the Bismarck, as I recall. I forgot exactly how they did it. And
they had to surround it and cripple it, and it just took forever, to sink the sumbitch. Yeah.
And it was a real force, and that was 1940.
It took the whole British Navy basically to sink the one down.
And that was they said would take the whole British Navy to go looking for it. I mean that was their goal. 3:39. Neil Boortz coming up with us at 4:00 today from traveling down south as his condo gets revamped and stuff. And so we got a little newsy stuff. Now Pete Davis, we have kind of a Memorial Day quiz. You want to do that here? Oh, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Do we have Flounder had some reaction or something? I'm sorry. Wait a second. Flounder, what do we have going?
No, we had a little YouTube reaction on Best War Movie. Let's see. Sophie said Dr. Strangelove.
Another great one.
That's a good one.
Absolutely. I have that one on my too.
Kimberly said Hacksaw Ridge. Snoop says Midway. James says Life of Brian. And then
Life of Brian. Okay, all right.
That's not a
Midway was
Bob says Tora.
Another good one. Another very good one.
And then Bob also said The Best Years of Our Lives.
Yes.
Yeah, excellent. Returning Frederick March, was it, I think?
Myrna Loy. Yeah.
And Frederick March, I believe. Oh, wow. Those were all good ones. Those are all good ones.
Yeah.
I was almost going to mention the Clint Eastwood one where he plays the Marine recon drill instructor guy with those idiot guys, and then and he comes back and his girlfriend's at the bar. And I don't know. They portrayed the Marines in that platoon as a bunch of doofuses. I was really offended by that.
Heartbreak Ridge.
Heartbreak. No. It was
Heartbreak Hill.
No, you almost had it. Heartbreak Ridge. Maybe was that it? Might have been it.
It was Heartbreak.
No, I don't think so. Anyway, 3. Shall we do the Memorial Day thing? Want to do that here, Pete Davis?
Let's try and get this in here. Let's do it.
All right, sir. What do we do? What's the deal and what's going on?
Basically, get a pen and pencil and play along at home. You just write down if you get it right.
Okay.
We'll have 10 questions. You ready?
All right, sir.
By the way, remember the Hood was for the British. Remember the Alamo was for the Texans. That's how much they cared about that.
And again, that was 1941. That was basically the beginning of our participation, of course, much later. But the British had already been getting creamed for a couple of years here, so this was a major
loss when they lost the Hood.
Yeah.
What does the 3rd U.S. Infantry Regiment place at each grave in Arlington National Cemetery every Memorial Day? Wreaths, small flags, red poppies, or roses?
Okay, this is which division you're talking about?
The 3rd U.S. Infantry Regiment.
Okay.
What do you think?
I'm going to go with flags.
I got flags.
You're both correct. Flags, that's right. Hundreds of thousands of them. A tradition since 1948.
In fact, my daughter Sarah, every year, and I'll bet she'll do it again on Monday, she takes her school classes. She works with special kids in Colorado, and they go to cemeteries and plant the flags, which I think is a very nice thing for the schools to be doing too. Yes, sir.
Which flower is associated with Memorial Day? White rose, cherry blossom, red poppy, or blue snapdragon?
I believe that's the poppy.
I'm going to go white rose.
The red poppy.
Aha.
Yeah.
Sorry, Flounder.
Damn it.
Symbol of red. And several countries do it, especially over there. Because I was in England last year for Memorial Day weekend, doing the somersaults and the Spitfire over the English Channel.
There you go.
And everybody had a red poppy on. At least the real English people did there. John McCrae's poem In Flanders Fields, 1915, is where they got the idea for doing
poppies
that.
Poppies in the field. Yes, sir.
What is the official birthplace of Memorial Day?
I think I remember this. It's a little town in New York State. It's not Waterfall or...
It could be Washington, D.C., Charleston, South Carolina, Gettysburg.
It's Charleston, South Carolina.
Or Waterloo, New York.
Well, okay, both. The first, as I remember...
No, it can't be both.
All right, now, wait a minute. Okay, now, here's the deal. The first official ceremony that they recognized as people dealing with things in graves came in Charleston, South Carolina. But the official government observance that they say was of the official Memorial Day was in that little town in New York.
What do you say, Flounder?
I'm going to go Washington.
No, that's not even close.
More than a half dozen places claim to be the birthplace, but the proclamation of the Congress in 1966, Waterloo, New York.
Waterloo, New York. And by the way, in fact, I just have this in my notes. Records show commemorations were organized by a group of formerly enslaved people in Charleston, South Carolina, less than a month after the Confederacy surrendered in 1865. But in 1966, the government declared Waterloo, New York. So that's why they were both. I'm taking 2 check marks. I'm sorry.
Flounder just sent me a message, and I concur.
Tell me to kiss your ass.
No, Flounder says we're never going to finish this. You have an anecdote after every question.
I don't know.
But that's fine. That's what the show's about. We'll just go long.
And listen.
All right. In what year did the U.S. federal law decree Memorial Day observed on the last Monday in May? Was it 1875, 1971, 1919, or 1946?
I know this one, Flounder, and I know the answer, and I don't.
I'll go 1946.
Nope, 1971.
Exactly, 71. You're absolutely correct.
Really? I figured it would have been earlier
Isn't that
than
amazing?
that. Yeah.
That is incredible. But it was only official because, well, they weren't making federal holidays. Again, Martin Luther King Day was, later than it ever happened. But again, that is amazing to me that it was in the 70s.
Thank you, Flounder, for filling the hole of Kimmer not having an anecdote. You filled the
consistency.
void. All right. Which of these U.S. sporting events is traditionally held on the Memorial Day weekend? Major League Baseball opening day, Indianapolis 500, U.S. Open Finals, Super Bowl.
We all know this one.
Indianapolis 500.
That would be correct, sir. Right. Indianapolis 500.
And if you raise your hand if you've actually been into the pits on the... I'm sorry.
No. I've driven by Indianapolis.
I was in the pits interviewing the drivers as they lifted the hood. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
All right. Which state was the first to officially recognize Memorial Day? Georgia, Connecticut, New York, Pennsylvania.
Wow, I do not know. I'm going to have to guess Pennsylvania, Valley Forge.
In 1873, New York became the first state. And they named it something else, which I'll tell you later. Right, and what year was the National Moment of Remembrance when all Americans paused for a minute of silence first observed? 1865, 2000, 1945, or 1971?
Wow. As a national thing, a nation was asked, I'll go with 71, the same day as the official proclamation.
45?
Bill Clinton signed it, 2000.
I'll be damned. That's amazing to me.
I'm kidding you. No, it was 2000. It was. Which organization first promoted a national holiday for decorating the graves of fallen soldiers? The American Legion, the Grand Army of the Republic, United Daughters of the Confederacy, or Gold Star Wives of America?
I think it was the Daughters of the Confederacy.
All right, Flounder?
I agree.
Grand Army of the Republic.
Oh, well,
John A. Logan, 1868.
Well, they're both old-timers, so that we should get a half a point for that one.
Memorial Day, originally commemorated to honor fallen soldiers of which conflict? The Mexican-American War, the War between the States, World War II, or the American Revolution?
War between the States, as we all know.
Yeah, exactly. War between the states. In fact, first observed, a little after that. Exactly. And finally, what was Memorial Day originally called?
Decoration Day.
Flag Day, War Remembrance Day, Decoration Day, or Civil War Day?
Decoration Day.
Mr. Helper. Well, we end with a bang.
Well, you should raise your hand before you speak, class.
It was changed after World War I. Yeah, you in the back. Yeah, the one that never shuts up. Yeah, you.
Get out of there.
All right, who won? How many did you have?
I got actually all of them plus one extra because I did both answers.
You did not.
No, I missed one. I got.
You missed one. Flounder, how many did you get?
I got 4. I didn't do that high.
No, you didn't.
Well, that was different.
Yes, sure was.
But again, what the hell? It's weekend. Give us a buzz. 348 Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, man. Be careful out there. There you go.
What would he say? Keeping me down, boy, won't keep you away. It's Decoration Day, and I knew the hill boys had put him away, but my daddy wasn't afraid. He said we'd fight till the last Lawson's last living day. I never knew how it all got started.
From the latest breaking news to the conservative voices you know and trust, your best new follow on social media is XTRA 106.3. We're at XTRA 106.3 on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, and LinkedIn, and pretty much any social media you scroll through every day. And we drop exclusive giveaways, new daily content, and the latest breaking news from Georgia and across this great nation. Interact with your favorite extra personalities. Get the latest on on our live events, and so much more. Follow at XTRA 106.3 across all your social media and keep up with Atlanta's only conservative voice.
Hey, it's Lowe's for Howard Brothers and Honda Generators. You never know when a power outage will strike Atlanta and North Georgia. That's why you need a Honda generator from Howard Brothers. Honda generators are reliable, economical, and portable. They will work for you when you need it. You can get a whole house backup, or you can just keep your essentials working until power is back up. Howard Brothers has locations all around town that sell Honda generators. Learn more at howardbrothers.com/Honda generators. It's time for you to be powered by Howard Brothers and Honda.
Join A Second Chance Bail Bond CEO Daniel Madelon and host Tug Coward for the weekly radio show Back Your Blue. They will highlight special initiatives, criminal justice programs, and community events aimed at keeping our communities safer. Tune in Saturdays at 10 a.m. to learn some good news about and from the law enforcement and justice communities. Tune in on Saturdays or catch up on all past episodes wherever you get your podcasts or at thepodcastpark.com.
No one plans on going to jail, but when it happens, it's important that you know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds, where we believe everyone deserves a second chance. Whether your loved one's been arrested in Cherokee, Clayton, or any of the other metro Atlanta counties in between, A Second Chance Bail Bonds works fast to help expedite release within hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 404-BAIL-OUT or online at atlbail.com.
Hey, it's Tuck here with an important message as the weather heats up. Southern Exteriors is gearing up with unmatched quality and precision. For over 25 years, they've been delivering top-notch craftsmanship that you can rely on. And let me tell you, they're hotter than the campaign trail in July. Got a home exterior project that's got you feeling the heat? Don't sweat it. From roofing to siding, gutters to windows and doors. Call 877-9-SOUTHERN or visit southernexteriors.co. That's southernexteriors.co. Get a free consultation. Southern Exteriors, your home's best ally with any project.
The warm air, the beautiful weather, and the sounds of baseball. It's got you thinking about hitting the road. And no matter where your adventures take you, Subaru of Gwinnett has a vehicle to get you there safely and in style. Like the 2024 Subaru Outback, which will take you as far as you want to explore. With standard symmetrical all-wheel drive, plus up to 32 miles per gallon. And if you're up for adventure, it'll get you off the beaten path with up to 9.5 inches of ground clearance, more than the Honda CR-V or Toyota RAV4. Or the 2024 Subaru Forester, the SUV for all you love. It's the right size SUV for all the adventures ahead, with a spacious and comfortable interior for everyone you want to bring along. No matter where adventure takes you, it starts on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth with the amazing staff at Subaru of Gwinnett. They'll help you find the Subaru that you'll love and be there every step of the way for everything you need. Start your shopping online at SubaruofGwinnett.com.
At the Piedmont Bank, we're proud to be one of Georgia's largest community banks, focusing on serving businesses and the communities they serve. With headquarters right here in Metro Atlanta, our tailored banking expertise and solutions help meet the diverse needs of our customers so they have what it takes to grow, expand, and thrive. It's what elevates us above the rest. Find a location near you at Piedmont.bank and experience elevated banking for you and your business. The Piedmont Bank. Banking elevated. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
Election coverage is more than polls and numbers. It's about what matters in your life and your community. And Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station cares about your community, your voice, and most importantly, your vote. So keep it all here for the latest and download the XTRA 106.3 app and keep up with Atlanta's only conservative voice.
Hey, how you doing? Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Let It Rip Friday, 3:53. Neil Boortz joining us after the 4 o'clock news update. On this day, 1999, Queen singer Freddie Mercury, who died in 91, was honored on a new set of Millennium stamps by the Royal Mail. Mercury featured on the 19P. What's that P? What 19 what? What's a P in British? 19-pound stamp? That can't be right. It says a 19p stamp. What's the penny? Penny or pen? Oh, pence. A pence. 19 pence stamp. A keen stamp collector, and his collection was bought by the post office in 1993. The stamp marked Freddie Mercury's contribution to Live Aid in 1985 and caused controversy by featuring a small portion of Queen's drummer Roger Taylor in the background. British stamps by tradition only carry pictures of living persons who are members of the royal family. And he was not a member of the royal family, so it's very uppity, but the British going through a very thing, Our birthday list includes Priscilla Presley, good to 79. Elvis's ex-wife, Lisa Marie's mom, she's Jane Spencer in The Naked Gun 2.5, Naked Gun 33 1/3. All well done, boys. Just she know what the heck. I never thought she was particularly that attractive or anything. She's a nice lady.
She's a good-looking woman.
Well, actually, just and let's see. This is, hold on a second. I got to get my thing here with my thing. This was the day in 1830. A poet named Sarah Josepha Hale of Newport, New Hampshire, published a little poem called Mary Had a Little Lamb in 1830. It went like this. Mary had a little lamb. Its fleece was white as snow. Mary discovered shish kebab, and now that fleece is a throw. Ladies and gentlemen. No, that wasn't it. Mary had a little lamb. She tied it to a pylon. 1,000 volts went up its butt and turned its wool to nylon. I said, no, that's not the right one. Here we go. Mary had a little lamb. Her father shot it dead. Mary took it to school the next day between two chunks of bread. Now, these are just wrong. That's not. I looked it up, and it's just.
Do you want to hear Monty Python?
I do.
Mary had a little lamb, and it was always grunting. So she tied it to a 5-bar gate and...
There you go. Mary had a little skirt with a slit right up the side, and every time... Well, no, I don't. She also had a skirt, but she didn't wear that one very often. Anyway, 355. Oh, God. 404-741-1230, 741-1230 if you want to join us. Let's play some more Donald Trump rally stuff. Flounder, you want to pick out another one here? Anything you want? We got a bunch of them here. It was really, really fun last night. I watched almost all of it. It was as long as they could cover it, I was trying to watch.
This was one of the most entertaining ones.
Excellent.
Here as well as rapper Chef G. Does everybody know Chef? Where is Chef?
Star.
Where is he? Come on up, fellas. Rapper Sleepy Hollow. Come on up here, fellas. How are you, man? Hey. I like that. I want to get that done.
President Trump. Man. That's right, man. One thing I want to say. That's right, baby. One thing I want to say. Let's go home. They always gonna whisper your accomplishments and shout your failures. Trump gonna shout the wins for all of us.
Oh, man.
Make America great again.
I mean, if you can't get excited about, just the thought of all this is just now. Again, somebody's going to say, "Well, he paid him $20 million to go up and say that." But no, this is all going on. And by the way, think of it: the direction the country is going. Those people who were there are not getting squat from the Democrat Party. Who's getting squat from those leaders in the Democrat state and the cities are the illegal aliens sneaking in and the criminals. They've had it up to here. It isn't a joke anymore. You can't just depend on that, Anyway, I forgot to mention we got Flounder's Follies here probably in somewhere. Am I correct on that?
No, look, it's getting very advanced, all right? I've been to a dog bakery. I've been to a dog bakery in my life.
Adult bakery.
Dog.
I went in there, and no one was in there. The lady was looking at me like, "Are you here to buy this store for me?" That was her only. I talked to her. She had some time on her hand, excited to talk. And she said her and her husband bought the store for their 27-year-old daughter who graduated from college with a degree and came out of college and said, I want to own a dog bakery. I want to make cakes for dogs. Which if I asked my 6-year-old what she wants to do when she grows up, I think she'll tell me she wants to make cakes for dogs. And I'm going to tell her that she can do whatever she wants to do, hoping she doesn't turn 27 and go, let's talk about those cakes for those dogs.
Nate Bargatze.
That's Nate.
He's a very, very, very funny guy. Our number is 404-741-1230. Coming up, we'll talk more about the judge is not going to allow some of the salacious stuff about Hunter Biden to go into his gun trial. For example, they're not going to be able to tell the people that he's a dirty, rotten, scummy dropout, got thrown out of the Naval Academy at Annapolis for being a drug head. They won't be able to talk about his denying that he knocked up that stripper and then denied he even had anything to do with her and denied his child Navy or whatever her name is until they finally caught him with a DNA test. Anyway, we've got all that stuff coming up on Hunter. Also, the latest, we'll have some more from the Donald Trump trial as well. And Doge the doggy has crossed the Rainbow Bridge. We'll talk about that. Plus what they call a miracle for the rodeo star's 3-year-old boy who rode his bike into the river and is alive today. Coming up on 4 o'clock, Neil Boortz next. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Hurry up, look out. Memorial Day weekend. Here we go.
and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. This hour is presented by Atlanta Safe House.
Preparing for the first Hunter Biden trial. I'm Jack Callahan, Fox News. A pre-trial hearing on next month's trial on federal gun charges.
Today is a deal about motions and what can be brought in, what evidence can be brought in, what cannot be brought before the jury. He owned that gun for 11 days. He was charged for allegedly lying and saying that he was not addicted to drugs. We have a couple of things we just got from our reporters in the court. Judge Mary Ellen Noreika ruled that the special counsel cannot mention the tax case in Los Angeles. That has been pushed back till September 5th. She ruled the special counsel cannot mention Hunter's child support case in Arkansas. The special counsel could not use Hunter's comments from the day that he pleaded guilty last July 26 when that plea deal famously blew up in his face.
Fox's David Spud report prosecutors plan to use evidence from Hunter Biden's laptop in the trial. 25,000 at Donald Trump's rally in the Bronx yesterday.
I am a Democrat, and I belong here.
And who are you voting for?
Donald J. Trump.
Many telling Fox they want to change.
The Trump campaign had a voter registration table set up at the event where some Democratic voters say they switched their party affiliation to Republican. Now, New York's Democratic Governor Kathy Hochul attacked Trump and his supporters at the rally.
I'll tell you, it won't make a difference at all, Jake, and that is for Donald Trump to be the ringleader of and invite all his clowns to a place like the Bronx. New York will never, ever support Donald Trump for president. And so go ahead, spend all your time you want in New York, because we'll be with Joe Biden, and Joe Biden's out there winning over the rest of the battleground states.
About a couple hundred counter-protesters showed up at the rally.
Fox's Brian Yenna's Governor Hochul is being chastised for calling her own constituents clowns who attended the rally yesterday. America is listening to Fox News.
Well, the weather's warming up and summer's just around the corner. Everyone has a favorite outdoor activity: golf, bike riding, bird watching, long walks. Ask 100 people, you'll get 100 answers. But if everyday aches and pains are keeping you on the sidelines, I have one answer: Relief Factor. Relief Factor is a 100% drug-free daily supplement that helps your body fight pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor uses a unique formula of natural ingredients. It doesn't just mask pain, it helps reduce or even eliminate it. Wherever you're hurting, back, neck, joints, or muscles, in 3 weeks or less, you'll start to feel the difference all day, every day. So whatever you like to do, swimming, pickleball, hanging out in the garden, Relief Factor can help you feel good again and let you enjoy all your favorite outdoor activities all summer long. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF and save on your first order. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Fight pain naturally with Relief Factor.
I made Flounder put this on my magic music stick. Here we go. Hanson, baby, with Mbop. By the way, that pain commercial on that other one, if I never hear the phrase, you don't understand, I say, it's gone. It's gone. That guy, oh my God, if I don't hear that again, I'll be really happy. Anyway, here's Hanson starting a 3-week run at number 1 on the singles chart in 1997 with Mbop. The brothers' first number 1 and number 1 in Britain as well. Phenomenally successful, especially for a debut single. It reached oh my God, Mbop reached number 1 in 27 countries, including Australia, Mexico, and Germany. Hanson, here we go. I have no idea what to do. Chili on sounds something or other. My God. And we all look like little girls. Our birthday, and by the way, compare that with our birthday list today. Bob Dylan is 83. The genius Bob Dylan is 83 years old, would not do the Mbop. Anyway, also on this day in history, in 1844, America's first telegraph line opened. Washington wanted to have communication with individual parts of the country, so they wanted a telegraph line opened, and Samuel F.B. Morse initiated the first telegraph line, a message sent from Washington to Baltimore. It read, "What hath God wrought?" Samuel F.B. Morse in 1844. And now, something you'll really enjoy at 3, it's a 4:05 on Mr. Clock there with a Caribbean flounder. And it's Neil Boortz. It's Neil Boortz from the House on Wheels, fixing the condo, and he was off yesterday because he's working and stuff. And Neil Boortz, great to have you aboard Memorial Day weekend, and I am just thrilled to be with you. What's going on? And I hope you're having a terrific weekend.
Oh, we are. Actually, we are not in the Florida Keys anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No, we left there, a couple of days ago. But, Kimmer, we had a storm at we were in a place called the Blue Water Key RV Resort, okay?
Okay.
14.1 mile marker coming north out of Key West.
Wow. Yeah.
And there was a hellacious thunderstorm Saturday afternoon, and a water spout came ashore right there at that RV park. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, palm trees were swapping places.
Yeah, those things are real.
And, well, once they hit land, they're called a tornado.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it tore up some areas of this park, including taking somebody's refrigerator out of their cheeky hut and throwing it into the bay.
Oh, my God. Are you serious?
Yeah. But I got to tell you, so I don't even know what day it is, but we're getting ready to leave there. I think it might have been, I don't even know what day this is.
It's good, as it should be. You're retired officially.
I think it was Wednesday morning, and we're getting ready to leave there and head north. And I couldn't get one of the awnings to retract.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, and people that have motor coaches know.
Yeah.
And so somebody was trying to help me, one of our neighbors. And I said, well, you can retract these manually if you have a 1/4-inch drill in the 3/4 and a 3/4 bit. There's a little hole up there. You can just stick it in and hit the drill, and it'll pull in that thing manually.
Yeah.
But I can't do that because my wife will not allow me on the ladder.
No kidding. I didn't know that.
Oh, no, Kimmer, she won't. I mean, one time at a rally, I won a chainsaw, and the next morning I got up and I was going to go screw with the chainsaw, and it was gone. And I said, Donna, where's the chainsaw? She said, you're not allowed to have a chainsaw.
Your own protection. I can see that.
But anyway, so this guy got up on the roof, and he reached down into that awning and pulled out a 14-inch iguana.
Oh, my God. Holy smoke. Man, people should know they are everywhere. Holy cow.
They really are. You see them running across parking lots and shit
God.
like that. Oh, sorry, my French. But anyway, stuff like that. That's what I meant to say. But this had fouled up my awning, and for that, it got killed.
Wow. Oh, man, that's brutal.
Do you know they make great eating?
I did not know that. I don't think I'd order it on a menu if it were there. I can't imagine.
No.
You ever had it?
Dark meat. Yeah.
Huh.
I had this one.
Oh, you ate it? You actually killed and ate it? You cooked it?
Oh, no. The awning killed it.
But you ate it? You cooked it?
Well, I mean, that's what you do in the Keys.
No, I'm throwing the flag on this one. I think that's crap. You mean to tell me you cut the head off that big jam lizard and you skinned it somehow and then boiled fried it or what?
No.
Huh?
The guy that got it off the roof asked if he could have it. I told him absolutely yes.
Oh my God. Yeah, take it, please. Okay. No, you keep it. Yeah, really.
Now, what is your greatest war movie?
Oh, gee, there are too many. Patton, Sergeant York, even, I hate to say, Platoon or Full Metal Jacket. I mean, I can't. It's hard to pick one. So many. The Longest Day, for example, one of my favorites.
That was
every
great.
year. I watch it every year.
Red buttons in that movie.
Oh.
But anyway,
yeah.
The two, Hot War, Patton, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's one of the greatest roles ever played by an actor anywhere, anytime. Yeah. George C. Scott as Patton. And I love the speech at the beginning of the movie.
I was going to say that may be one of the greatest openings of any movie of all time. If you had to pick the top 10 openings of a movie, that's got to be in there. That was astounding.
Debbie Does Dallas
everything about
number two.
Well, that's a whole other, kind of a different category. Okay, all right.
And then a Cold War movie, hands down, The Hunt for Red October.
That's a great movie. That is a great movie. I hadn't thought about that. Cold War, yeah, absolutely.
A lot of directors did not want to do that Hunt for Red October because they said it was too complicated at the end for people to follow.
Well, I think they could figure out what the bubble. Well, maybe not. I guess so, maybe not.
But the Hunt for Red October is.
Yeah.
But I like to play these games of. Regardless of the genre or what kind of movie it is, the greatest roles played by actors.
Oh, wow.
And I think Patton was one of the greatest roles played by any actor anywhere.
Yeah.
So come up with another one.
Well, cow. Well, actually, even in war movies, Dr. Strangelove, Peter Sellers and George C. Scott, there was some great acting in that movie, too, and also a war movie, ironically.
They wanted.
Uh-oh. Hold on. Something bad happened. All right, don't go away. It's 4:11. Neil Boortz is temporarily lost for a second. And that was quick. That was like a whole electronic bash down.
Lightning strike, maybe.
Well, in fact, I was going to ask about this. I was telling you about the storms. He just talked about it, I've only seen one actual live water spout down in the Gulf. I'm sorry, was on the eastern coast of South Florida. And scary, man. I mean, very, very scary. And I saw one in Sarasota off the Longboat Key area there, too. And man, when they're out in the water, they're really funny looking. But if they come to land, they're a tornado. I mean, they're nothing but damage and stuff. Anyway, Flounder, should we do a little Kabonka here and try to get the connection back on, or what do you want to do?
So, I think he's right here. Sit tight.
Okay. All right. We won't go away. Here's the number, 404. Neil Boortz back with us, I'm guessing. I'm hoping.
Yeah.
There we go. Sorry about that.
I could hear you all of a sudden. You must have sat on a button or something.
That's probably my fault. I'm sure it's my fault. There's no question about it. Anything could happen.
Okay, anyway, Dr. Strangelove. Peter Sellers was supposed to play the role of Major Kong, the guy that rode the bomb down.
Oh, really? Oh, no, that would have been, Slim Pickens.
He just couldn't do a Texas accent.
Is that right? I'll be darned. So is that the reason? I'll be darned. What a crazy reason to do the best role, one of the best roles of his life, because he couldn't do a Texas twang.
So they gave that to Slim Pickens.
Yeah.
And they Slim Pickens, when they first saw the script, thought it was for real.
Well, one ladies' nylons, one Hershey bar, whatever.
But now here's your Slim Pickens trivia.
Okay.
How did he get the name Slim Pickens?
Because his family's so poor, they really had little to eat, I'm guessing, something like that, maybe? There was Slim Pickens at the table?
No. When he was a kid, he wanted to enter a calf roping contest at a rodeo in Texas. And he told the organizer, I'm going to have to use a fake name because my dad won't let me do this. And the organizer said, well, let me tell you, son, it's slim pickings out there. And the guy said, that'll do.
I'll be darned.
He said, okay,
what a great
my
story.
name,
What a great story. Outstanding.
Have you always used this Kim Peterson fake name?
Well, yeah. Tell me about growing up with a girl's name. Because you'll know this. Back when in grade school, they had boys' lists and girls' lists. In fact, they had boys' lists and girls' lists for everything. When I took Red Cross life-saving lessons when I was 11, they read off the boys' list and then read off the girls' list. And every time of my freaking life until I was, God knows, in prep school, I was on the girls' list of names. And I would cry. And when I was in second, third grade, I remember I was embarrassed and I started to cry. It was horrible. Oh, you have a girl's name.
You know,
God.
I'll tell you something I've never told anybody on the air before. But all this time, I thought your name was really Kimberly.
Well, Kimball is the boys' version. Kimberly is normally the girls' version of the full name of Kim. I was named after Kim of Korea. Rudyard Kipling, sorry. Kim of Korea, the book. Rudyard Slipling, yes. Yes, it's Rudyard Snipling. And the band of Redipling is right there. Tremendous band leader, the man's famous conductor of a Russian guy, a musician.
You know when the Real ID Act came out, the Real ID Act, I had to have my name changed in court.
I think I remember. Tell the story. I think I remember this story because of some bizarre. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah, well, because my father, for reasons known only to him,
yes,
decided in 1945, while the war was still going on, to name me Neil Adolf Boortz.
Adolf.
Well, when the Real ID Act came out, and my whole name had to be on my driver's license. Every time I walked up to TSA, these agents says, "Oh, Adolf."
Yeah,
So, using my acquired skills as a lawyer, I drew up a petition and filed it in the courts down here in Florida to change my name to Neil A. Boortz.
There you go.
With no period. And then the judge argued with me when I went to the hearing to have it changed.
He didn't want you to change it.
Yeah. No, she didn't want. But I being such a great trial attorney, I finally asked the judge if there was any legal objection to me changing my name to Neil Boortz. She said, No, there's none.
Therefore,
the order, I'll sign it. Yeah.
I remember the first time a lot of people, and maybe me as well, the first time they heard when Barack Hussein Puditat was being sworn in as president, Barack Hussein Obama, and people going, Hussein, that's his middle name? Because I don't think a lot of people followed when they tried to make him as though he was born in whatever. And when they heard Barack Hussein Obama, that's why I always mention Barack Hussein Puditat whenever I talk about him to make sure that people know that. For the record.
Well, we know what you're saying.
I know, that's true.
It's not at all that obscure. So, anyway, we're gonna be in Atlanta in a couple of weeks, but I'm not going to come out and do this live because you're geographically undesirable.
There's no way to, especially if there's a ball game or
we'll just have to meet you on the golf course. You just let us know where.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. You've got the connections. I don't have any anymore, but I know you still do. That might work.
Well, no, I went to one ball game there, and doggone it, they got me standing on a dugout singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." I swore I'd never ever go back to a ball game.
That's a pretty good thing on a bucket list, so I can tell you that.
Well, the Queen and I stayed in that hotel one time that overlooking center field.
Oh, cool! Really, never done that.
The Omni.
So shortly, shortly before the game started, somebody started hammering on our door. I mean, bang, bang. And I went and opened the door like an idiot.
Yeah.
And this security guard, this hotel security, and he came screaming through the room, walked out on the balcony, looked around, then walked back out, had nothing to say, just security, and left. And obviously, that was not too long after that Las Vegas shooting.
Oh,
and they were looking for people that were going to do something stupid. I wanted to open the door and yell down the hall, "Hey, you forgot to look under the bed, you idiot!"
Yeah, look out, he's coming to your room next, or something,
Yeah, but I mean.
Yeah, that's a little iffy.
Why can't you knock on the door and say, "Excuse me, sir, but we're doing a security check. Would you mind?" Fine.
Yeah.
he must have been really ticked off that was his job that day.
Well, that's no excuse. Dealing with people.
Okay, one more question. I know you're anxious to get rid of me.
No, not at all. You can stay here till 6. A lot less I have to do.
No way. I was back admonishing myself a little bit for even suggesting that I might not vote for Donald Trump to get.
Well, that's nonsense, Neil. You're such everybody, you're such a freaking goof. Obviously, he must have peed in your Wheaties. I mean, one day we have to know the whole freaking story. If you're on your deathbed, I swear to God, if the doctor says you got 20 minutes to live, I want you to call so we can get the whole freaking story for whatever the hell he did to you. But we all know you're going to vote for Donald Trump. Now, don't try to. There was no way in hell you're ever going to vote for that scumbag in office right now.
That's the point of this, but remember that I had to deal with Donald Trump on a legal matter.
Yeah, I know, and we want to know all about it. Yeah, and then he whizzed in your Wheaties.
No, it's their attorney-client and all that kind of stuff, and I can never say anything about it. But then I started thinking, people who are going to vote for Joe Biden.
Yeah.
How can you do that?
I know.
Name one accomplishment, one single solitary accomplishment of Joe Biden for all the years he spent in the Senate. I don't know if he was in the Congress before that.
I don't think so.
He's never worked in the private sector. Name one thing that man ever accomplished as an elected official.
Yeah. Ask anybody in his own party. Ask Puttitat when he said, "Never forget that Biden will always be able to blank things up." That's what he does.
Exactly. About the only thing that you could thank him for was California can thank him for getting Kamala Harris out of that state.
Yeah, unfortunately, how we got her. And again, if this figures, here's Joe Biden. Here's a guy whose vice president is the woman who called him a racist during the campaign and who didn't get one single vote. She had to drop out of the primary before she got a single ballot. She was so hated and so unpopular, called him a racist, so he makes her the vice president because she hit two labels, black, not black, sort of Jamindican and female.
Well, he told America that if I get the nomination, my vice presidential candidate is going to be a black woman. Yeah, in other words, I am going to eliminate 94% of the population in America for any consideration to be my running mate. That's how concerned I am about this country if something were to happen to me, like if I fell down a flight of stairs. Yeah. Now, how can you take somebody that would eliminate 96% of our population from any consideration to be his successor if something horrible should happen?
Yeah. Well, he did the same thing on the Supreme Court. Justice Katanji Bippity Boppity Boo, whatever the hell thing. I mean, she was only picked because she's black and a girl. Period. That's it. He eliminated everybody else. I mean, please.
Kimber, has anybody ever walked up to you and introduced themselves and never said, and my pronouns are?
No. I think I would probably, honestly, I mean, I wouldn't get angry, but I know I'd say something inappropriate, and I'd probably start laughing and say, I don't know what I'd say, honestly. Did something happen to you? Did somebody do that?
No. It's never happened to me either, but I've been worried about this because sooner or later it will. Yeah. And I've got to have a really hard-hitting response to that.
My pronouns are eat me and go away, maybe, something like that.
Kimber, you can't say that on the radio.
Yes, I can. I can say it once.
Well, there's that old song from Monty Python that I used to play on the radio all the time.
Which one is that again?
Well, it was a blankety blank and telling you that. Tell me that you love me. Remember that?
I'm not dead yet. Yes, he is. He's dead. Man's dead. I'm not dead.
But the FCC actually came out and said to play that song on the air can result in a massive fine for your radio station. Yeah. So I was working at a radio station in Atlanta with a boss that I did not like at all, who I named Sluggo.
Yeah.
But anyway, after they specifically said that any radio station that plays that song will receive a massive fine, I was on the air one time and I started playing the intro to that song. And here comes Sluggo, that fat little turd, running down the hallway, screaming and yelling, "Stop! Stop! Stop!"
Settle my.
I only did that to get.
The stories.
He used to get mad at me, and I'd say, "Fire me! Come on, you coward! Fire me! I got a law practice where I'm gonna,
I love it.
But it is a great song if you ever want to go play it on the air sometime.
Yeah, our last show.
I'm betting that D Squared has never heard that song before.
I'm fairly sure he has no idea what you're talking about, Mr. Dick. Yeah.
By the way, you mentioned last show. I'm going to leave you with this,
right.
And it's about the Queen.
Yeah. Oh yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's my last day on the air over at
the other place. Yeah.
Yeah, the other place. Yeah. Last day on the air. 53 years in radio and all that kind of stuff. And so my producer, the lovely Belinda, she says, "Neil, before you go," and I mean, there's TV cameras and all this kind of stuff because it's my last day. "You have one more call." And I said, "Okay, one more call." And Belinda says, "It's your wife." Oh, boy. So I push the button, and it's Donna. And I said, "Hey, honey." And she just said, "Neil, it's time to come home."
That's sweet. That's sweet. That is very, very sweet.
Sweet? Wait till you hear what else she said. She said, "It's time to come home." And I said, "It sure is, honey." And then she said, "So on the way home, could you pick up some bread and a gallon of milk?"
Yeah. And don't call me honey. I mean, keep your hands off me.
It's no "I love you." It's no "congratulations on a fantastic career." It's no. There was no "let's go off and do something in retirement." It's, "Could you bring home a loaf of bread and a gallon of milk?"
Yeah. Well, still, you're a lucky man. You definitely outran your coverage, or whatever the phrase is.
I am definitely a lucky man. She's laying right here.
Oh, now I don't need to hear that. My God, man. I mean, that's not fair. God. Gee, I wonder what you're going to do next compared to what I'll be doing for the next 2.5 hours or whatever. Anyway. Hey, by the way, Neil, before I go, did you know that the U.S. News World Report came out, the #1 city to live in America? Naples, Florida.
No, they're lying.
It was #2 last year, #1 this year. Naples, Florida.
No,
yes,
Naples sucks.
Not in the summertime, it isn't.
No. Nobody wants. No, you don't want.
We don't want. Yes, everybody should go to Naples. No. It's a #1 city in America. See you around, Neil, next week, baby.
No.
Have a blessed Memorial Day of importance and goodness. Semper Fi, Neil Boortz, right here. I gotta go. You're killing me. Oh, mercy. 426, Kimmer Pete Flounder.
Hey homeowners, Tug here with some exciting news. Southern Exteriors is your one-stop solution for top-notch exterior services, from roofing to siding, windows, gutters, and more. No more waiting. They can start on your project immediately. And with an in-house warranty division, Southern Exteriors stands by their work for years to come. From leaky roofs to faded siding, trust Southern Exteriors for a quick and lasting transformation. Don't wait. Transform your home today. Call 877-9-SOUTHERN or visit southernexteriors.co now. Southern Exteriors, quality and precision you can rely on for over 20 years.
XTRA 106.3 listeners are falling in love with Nucky's Hoagies in Roswell.
Me and my wife now find our favorite sandwich place. That food over there was great.
Yeah, those rolls are so soft and sweet. I mean, it was just melt in your mouth. It was, and the steak was tender and juicy and flavorful. I can't say enough about it. It was very, very impressive.
It was so good.
Make Nucky's Hoagies in Roswell on Woodstock Road your new favorite spot for lunch or dinner. Nucky'sHoagies.com.
A musician with technical knowledge can play all the right notes. But one who cares enough to play from the heart gives music soul. At Truist, we believe the same is true for banking. Because when you work with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. Truist, leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Start feeling unstoppable. Visit Truist.com/care. Truist Bank, member FDIC, leading based on top 10 U.S. commercial bank.
Convenience is defined as the state of being able to proceed with something with little effort or difficulty. Well, at RBM of Atlanta, we embody this philosophy. Meet our Mercedes-Benz pickup and delivery service. It gives you back time and money. Does your Mercedes-Benz need service? If so, we'll pick up your vehicle that's requiring service from your home or office and bring it back to our dealership for the required service. With over 100 appointments available every weekday, over 50 appointments on Saturdays, and more than 200 courtesy vehicles in our fleet, we're here to serve. We'll work around your schedule. We're here to save you time, energy, and money. RBM of Atlanta is a J.D. Power 2023 Diamond Dealer of Excellence for the customer sales experience and Georgia's only 9-time Mercedes-Benz Best of the Best winner. We're proud to be Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964. Pickup and delivery service restrictions do apply. Ask your service coordinator or service advisor for details.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911, online at stopmyed.com.
When it comes to protecting your assets and ensuring peace of mind, trust the expertise of Nelson Elder Care Law. Our Absolute Protection Trust is designed to provide unparalleled asset protection. Visit NelsonElderCareLaw.com to discover how our specialized services can safeguard your family's future and assets, offering you the assurance you deserve. NelsonElderCareLaw.com.
This is Dan Watkins with All Four Seasons. We've always been Atlanta's best at installing and servicing garage and entry doors, but you would be surprised at how many windows we've installed as well. So we're proud to announce a new division, All Four Seasons Windows. We now have the ability to make sure every opening in your house is safe, energy efficient, and looks darn good. So give us a call today to schedule your free sales consultation. Find out how you can decrease your energy bills and increase the beauty and value of your home with All Four Seasons garage, entry doors, and windows.
Here we go. Phil Collins joining Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 431 on 106.3. Beginning of Memorial Day weekend. Again, if you're driving out there, you know to take it easy. Here we go. 1980. Genesis fans turning up at the Roxy Club box office in Los Angeles to buy tickets for the gig were surprised to find the band members, Phil Collins, Tony Banks, and Mike Rutherford, were selling the tickets themselves at the box office, which is pretty cool in 1980. I mean, that's, you know, you got to like guys in big-time rock and roll business doing that kind of stuff. I appreciate that. Our birthday list includes Radar, Gary Berghoff, 81 years old, Corporal Radar O'Reilly on MASH. Another one of the great roles, one of the great TV roles of all time. And he would be able to know exactly what the words were out of Captain, what's-his-name's, or Colonel, what's-his-name's mouth, the guy from the other one, Dragnet guy.
Blake.
No, that Blake
Potter.
was not the. Potter was the Dragnet guy, the Jack Friday's partner. Anyway, Gary Berghoff, 81. Did he go to? He went to Congress, didn't he? Wasn't he the one, or was that Love
that
Boat?
was.
That was Love Boat guy.
Purser.
Love Boat guy. Sorry. Yeah. Well, I was so close. And our our history list includes. And we got, by the way, a Patricia phone call and a nice email, and it's Memorial Day weekend coming up. We'll talk a lot more about that too. But first, speaking of the birth of our nation. And onward, 1610 on this day, Sir Thomas Gates institutes laws divine, moral, and martial. It was a strict civil code for Jamestown. 1610. Same day, 1624, after years of unprofitable operation, Virginia's charter was revoked, and it became a royal colony. in America, 1624. 1764, same day, Boston lawyer James Otis denounced, quote, taxation without representation. And he called for the colonies to unite in demonstrating their opposition to Britain's new taxes. And that was pretty much the beginning of the ball game. 4:33, the 4 o'clock hour, brought to you by our good friends in the home of the Kimmer Safes, Atlanta Safe House. You need a safe, you just don't know it. Learn more about AtlantaSafeHouse.com. You know, they have a showroom in Ackworth. Pistol safes, gun safes, jewelry safes, happy safes, and they'll take care of the whole business for you. 404-741-1230. Got a really touching email here I want to share with you in a second. First of all, to the phones. Patricia, Kimmer Babe Supreme, how you doing, baby? Welcome aboard. What's up?
When I was listening to Neil Boortz's comment on Biden and Kamala Harris, and this hasn't been proven, but there's some conjecture saying that Biden did not pick Kamala Harris, that Barack Hussein Obama picked both candidates.
I'm sure that's true. I'm, Patricia, I have no doubt that the people in charge that you see, like, Joe, crime family, are not the people running the joint. And I completely guarantee it. There's no way. I mean, think about it. The boss, if he had actually been called a racist by the woman who got 0 votes, I mean, how could you possibly put her on the ticket? He didn't make that decision. I agree with you.
And the fact that Obama has not moved from Washington, there's another school of thought that says before they meet at the White House, the powers that be meet with Obama first. Yeah. That's why he's still in Washington, because he's still controlling everything.
Yeah, it's a nightmare. Please, Lord, in November, make everything good again. Patricia,
let's hope so. And have a great holiday weekend, Kimmer.
Thank you, and blessings to you, my friend Patricia. It's always great to talk to you. 435, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. 404-741-1230. A very sweet message. Flounder just forwarded this to me from a lady named Suzanne. I just use her first name, and she says, Kimmer, my husband and I have listened to you when we were going back and forth and moving to Atlanta in 1995. He and I both grew up moving around. I was a Navy brat. In 1965, my father was stationed in Okinawa, Naha, Okinawa. My brothers and I followed after my mother had my sister, January 66. It was the best childhood memories, although the Vietnam War was building up. We lived like it was still in the 50s. My kindergarten was in a Quonset hut. Those are those big steel, round, sort of Tootsie Roll-looking buildings. And boy, do they get hot. Anyway, my kindergarten was in a Quonset hut. Us kids on the base played outside all the time, no TV, dared each other to go into the various caves used by the Japanese during World War II. We drank out of Lister bags, a horrible experience at school after typhoons because we still went to school without water or electricity and roamed in the jungles, although we weren't supposed to. In school, we were warned about Habu snakes, and if we find any leftover war munitions or anything, to go home and tell an adult. Well, one day, my mother and I came home from the commissary in an MP truck with a trailer containing a barrel-type thing. My mom just about had a heart attack. I didn't know what the hell was going on. She ran out of the car, leaving me and the groceries behind. My brother did not follow the directions to get an adult, and instead decided to put what he found in his bike basket, made of wire, and brought it home to show my dad. Well, my dad said he took one step across the living room and very calmly called the MPs. When they arrived before the barrel truck, they threw the live mortar shell into my sister's sandbox. I recently asked him why he brought the damn thing home. He said he was afraid someone else would find it. There were many more interesting adventures while we lived there, including me having a broken arm when I had to get an eye patch. Another story for another time. In 1968, we returned to America at the same time as the Hong Kong flu. My dad worked at Bethesda. We returned in time to see the world go insane. 68. I was in 3rd grade by then and didn't know what a hippie was, but they were everywhere protesting and hating our fathers. 1968. That's where I was so frightened by everything, culture shock. I always thought that was the worst time ever. Today seems way more out of control. Our parents didn't lay the whole Hong Kong flu crap on us kids. In fact, my dad had duty on Christmas Eve, the same time President Johnson had been at Bethesda sick with a flu. We didn't wear masks, still went to school. Nobody blamed us kids for passing it around. My brothers and I had paper routes and still continued as usual. We are in our 60s now. My brothers and I reassure my father having the experience of living in Okinawa was the best childhood. Memorial Day means a lot to us, as we knew families who had to leave the island. We knew families had to leave the island because their fathers, who were aviators, were shot down while on missions in Vietnam. Unfortunately, they were hard times there, terrible consequences, but it instilled a patriotism that will never leave me. Welcome home. I will never forget the sacrifices made by so many for our freedoms. Semper Fi, bless you, sweet girl. That's from Suzanne and her family. 4:39 with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder here on Memorial.
All right, we got Bill on the line. He had two questions for you.
Bill, you're on the radio. It's Let It Rip Friday. Anything goes. Memorial Day weekend, my friend. Welcome aboard. What's going on?
Hey, God bless America, and God bless you, Kimmer. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
For everything you do. I've got two completely different questions. The first one is to let you know we grew up in Chicago before we moved here in 1990. So in the 70s, there was a guy on the radio named Steve Dow.
Oh, yeah. Well, Steve, the disco king, the disco hater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like the Don Rickles of radio.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
And
big.
I wanted to kind of get your if you knew anything about him.
Well, I remember he was in charge in the disco night where he blew up all the records at Comiskey Park, the White Sox ballpark. Yeah. And in fact, it was between a doubleheader, I think, and he had to call the game because there were fireworks and the mob stormed in the field. And I mean, he was a maniac. He was, I shouldn't say that, but he was a wild one of the early kind of real high personality morning show type guys, kind of a rabble rouser, troublemaker, having fun, picking on folks, and kind of a wild guy, like a Stern type guy, or the other guy from New York. And there was another guy in Chicago did the same thing too, and I can't remember who that was. But there was a bunch of them at that time. Yeah, I remember those guys very well. Absolutely.
He kind of changed the direction of talk radio, at least from my perspective. But
he was different.
Anyway, I didn't know whether you knew. I knew whether you knew him or not. But,
yeah. And who was the Pete? Who was the wild man guy? They tried to bet him on here, and he never made it, and they had to can him. Was a Vietnam veteran. Oh, he was a crazy. Oh God,
the Grease Man.
Grease Man. The Grease Man was another one who was a rebel rousing, troublemaking, wild guy. And they played. Yeah, they had him here in Atlanta, and he just never made it. He couldn't. He wouldn't make it here in Atlanta.
Horrible.
But he was big in a lot of other places. Same kind of sort of a thing.
Well,
I think.
When we got down here to Atlanta radio, it was so boring. It was like, oh my God, nothing personal, Kimber.
No, really.
No, I don't remember you back in the early 90s.
Well, as we should. Yeah, neither do I. Really, honestly. I was on the biggest hit I've ever been back in the 90s. We owned it. No, really, it was. I agree with you totally. I'm just teasing.
So let's segue over to
yes,
the Hunter Biden trial.
All right,
which a judge ruled today that the prosecution could not bring up Hunter Biden's discharge from the Navy, which was they found cocaine in his urine or his blood or something.
No, they threw him out. They kicked him out of the Navy. Yeah,
but they did not give him a quote-unquote dishonorable discharge. They gave him an administrative discharge because I'm sure his father took care of all of that for him.
He should have had a dishonorable discharge, period. And in fact, I think that means you can't even vote unless you have to get a special court disposition. I believe if you've been dishonorably discharged from the military, you do not have the right to vote in an American election. I think that's still true. I could be wrong. I think that's still true.
Well, why would someone that has cocaine in their bloodstream be given anything but a dishonorable discharge?
Political power. Yeah. Biden family.
Anyway.
Again, the court ruled they can't talk about his bastard little girl child, the poor thing who had to. The rest of her life, she's going to be known for Hunter Biden's disowned and eliminated from his entire mind, including the stockings on the Christmas mantle from her lifestyle the rest of her life. The poor thing. Good Lord. What a scummy family. Just white trash family. What a scumbag. The whole bunch of them, including that Dr. Jill, the doctor, the freaking enabler. She should have stopped this thing from the beginning. But just white trash, every freaking one of them.
All right, now we have...
Yes.
Who do we have? Victor on the line.
Sorry, I was getting a little rowdy.
Yeah, just a little bit. So let's switch gears to Victor.
All right, Victor, you're on the radio. Happy Friday. What's going on, man? You're on the radio.
Hey, Kimmer, yeah. I hear that it's a great time to move to Naples. I'm not sure.
Yeah, more the better.
Hey, I got to tell you, Kimmer, so here's my theory.
All right.
So I'll tell you who chose cackling Kamala.
Yeah.
It was Jill Biden, and Jill Biden did it as an insurance program so they couldn't remove her husband. Because I promise you, the Democrats right now are looking for every way possible to get Joe Biden off that, especially after that rally last night that Trump pulled off.
Man, do you believe? I mean, that was unbelievable. And I can't wait to see whether the media tonight, well, it won't be there, but I wonder whether the mainstream media is giving him his due. I mean, this was a major event. What he pulled off was a major event.
There's an all-out panic going on right now with the Democrats, and it's going to be fun to watch. But I'll tell any listener out there who didn't see that, go look it up. Watch what Ruben Diaz is, a Puerto Rican black Democrat, very well known in the Bronx, and he got up there and endorsed Trump and said just some amazing
Flounder,
things.
I tell you what,
calling out the judge.
We're going to, in fact, we'll when we hang up, we'll play one. I think that we may have that exact soundbite. Flounder's got a couple more in there. We'll play for you right now in case you missed it. It was a great rally. Thanks, man. I appreciate it, and have a Memorial weekend too, man. I really appreciate it.
All right, which one was he talking about? Donald Byerson?
One of the ones of the the other one, the Valentino, Lou Valentino. I think he's like the last one.
Go.
Yeah.
The pressure is on. If you could see, I don't know, the line to get in here right now, it's like an hour plus long. And there's a lot of people coming out here. And it looks like, it just looks so diverse. It looks amazing. It looks beautiful. It's just defeating every narrative there is. And Democrats are about to have a hard time in November because now New Yorkers are probably going to wake up and start asking, who are the politicians representing me? And I think this is not about Trump. This is about the strategy of Trump coming here, putting pressure on them. And Democrats, they've been getting our vote for so long, man, for so long, for years, decades. What has changed? Poverty, not that many jobs out here. It's a struggle. So I'd like to see Republicans step it up, invest in the RNC here, start reaching out, making a difference. There is many ways and many organizations that do not get the recognition out here to stop gang violence, to support those. But I just don't see Republicans here, but I definitely don't see Democrats doing anything. So I think Trump coming here, that's why he's an anomaly.
It's an amazing backfire the way this Democrats, they wanted millions of illegals to come in so they could be Democrats and voting them for power forever. And it absolutely stabbed him in the back when all the people who actually live here said, wait a minute, you can't do that and ignore us. What do you think's going to happen? You idiots. How could they not? I mean, it just seems so obvious that there was no way that was going to work for them. They would have taken all the entire black population saying, wait a minute, hold on, you're supposed to be our guys.
And the Republicans have never made any inroads to the Bronx, and Trump goes in there in one day and does more than they have in 50 years.
Yeah, nails it. 446, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder on Friday. Let it rip, baby. Look out. There you go.
Time for the Boortz Report, brought to you by Southern Exteriors, the Southeast premier home exterior solution. Quality and precision you can rely on for over 20 years. Visit southernexteriors.co.
Pleased to learn that Harvard Corporation is denying graduation and diplomas to a few students, not enough, who were involved in violating school policy with their pro-Islamic terrorist demonstrations. Good for Harvard. Let's go to Columbia. That's where another bunch of hotshot lawyers go to school, about a 12.5% acceptance rate, supposed to be some of the nation's elite. Well, the students at Columbia who were involved in the Useful Idiots demonstration now have sent a demand letter to Columbia insisting that all final exams be called off and a passing grade given to every student. Why? Here's part of the letter. We believe that canceling exams would be a proportionate response to the level of distress our peers have been feeling. You want a level of distress? Try getting ready for a critical trial. Just a few more days till opening arguments. Well, there's stress. And these Columbia law students can't handle a little stress. You will remember that the pro-terrorist demonstrators took over a building at Columbia, started destroying the interior, and the police got rid of them. Well, the students are now saying the police actions were violence that has irrevocably shaken many of us and the majority of our classmates, so we can't do exams. We all just, no, we don't insist, we demand on a passing grade and no final exam. And these are the people that want to be the elite future lawyers in America. You don't want to hire one, do you? Neil Boortz, XTRA 106.3.
Hey there, I'm Tara, owner and publisher of Our Town Monthly Magazine, where you'll find familiar faces, local voices, and community businesses like Celebration Village of Ackworth.
Hi, I'm Jocelyn Cochran, Executive Director for Celebration Village Ackworth, the area's premier senior living community right here in Cobb County. We are located in Ackworth, Georgia, conveniently right off Cobb Parkway, Highway 41, within a mile of prime retailers, but still providing the privacy and peace of nature. We're offering true continuum of care with independent living, concierge living, assisted living, and memory care apartments. We currently offer the largest independent living apartments in our market. Our residents enjoy restaurant-style dining with seasonal menus featuring fresh ingredients and home-style meals. We offer resort-style amenities, transportation services, and a true maintenance-free lifestyle. We have had a long-running relationship with Our Town Monthly because we share the motto, family and community first.
Thanks, guys. We adore your amazing community. Friends, check out Celebration Village of Ackworth. It's a true senior living retreat. Tell them Our Town said hello.
Join A Second Chance Bail Bond CEO Daniel Madelon and host Tug Coward for the weekly radio show Back Your Blue. They will highlight special initiatives, criminal justice programs, and community events aimed at keeping our communities safer. Tune in Saturdays at 10 a.m. to learn some good news about and from the law enforcement and justice communities. Tune in on Saturdays or catch up on all past episodes wherever you get your podcasts or at thepodcastpark.com.
No one plans on going to jail, but when it happens, it's important that you know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds, where we believe everyone deserves a second chance. Whether your loved one's been arrested in Cherokee, Clayton, or any of the other metro Atlanta counties in between, A Second Chance Bail Bonds works fast to help expedite release within hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 404-BAIL-OUT or online at atlbail.com.
Look out now. It's only me. So the Timmer with Pete and Flounder. David Bowie releasing his 8th studio album, Diamond Dogs. The cover art features Bowie as a striking half-man, half-dog, grotesque. It says here, a striking half-man, half-dog, grotesque. That must be the noun version of the word grotesque, which is not an adjective thing.
It's like a gargoyle.
A gargoyle, yeah. Painted by Belgian artist Guy Piele. It was I might have added a syllable in there, it's possible. It was controversial as the full painting clearly showed his genitalia. Oh, sorry. Now, for you, if you're going to look it up, shame on you.
No, you don't want to do that.
No, it's not attractive.
No.
Birthdays include Tommy Chong. Cheech and Chong Tom. 86 years old. God bless him. Probably smoked more marijuana every day for the last 50 years of his life if he can walk around.
One of the biggest shocks of my life. 5 a.m. at the old station, and it's just me and Doug Nodine in the newsroom.
Oh, God.
Someone's knocking on the door by the elevators. I open the door, and thinking, God, who's going to be at 5 a.m.? And it's friggin' Tommy Chong. It's Tommy Chong. And he's like, I'm the only person there to talk to him because nobody at 96 Rock was there yet. He's like, well, come on down here. We'll just have a little chat. Sit down there with Tommy Chong.
What was he doing? Obviously, he's supposed to be doing something with somebody.
He was there early for the regular guys.
Oh,
and just got there early. And
I love it. And I had lunch next to Cheech at Pebble Beach in the clubhouse after a golf round, sitting there with Roger Staubach and Cheech. My God. 452, Carrot, Pete, and Flounder. On this day in history, not a happy day here in 1856, the Potawatomi Massacre. John Brown and his Free State volunteers murdered 5 men who settled in southeastern Kansas on the Potawatomi Creek. 3 of those guys were killed. They were members of the Law and Order Party, which was formed to keep slavery. And John Brown and his buddies killed them. 453 with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. More coming up on Memorial Day. In fact, I'm going to be reading part of one of the most famous letters in Civil War history. One of the letters home, which kind of points out. When I read these, I use it every year, and it amazes me not only the language, but the style and the grace and the feeling, and from people these were not educated people. And you can actually see the video, the copies, the photographs of the original letters written in longhand. It's stunning, from 1861, 2, 3, 4, whatever, and so forth. I got one, probably the most famous one coming up here. Should we play another Donald Trump thing there, Flounder? What do you think? Let's play one more fun Donald Trump. We got a Flounder's Funny coming up here, too. Donald Trump just killed it last night. I'll tell you, it was amazing. We could do Byron Donaldson and maybe the Bronx Rally rappers as well. We could do. We did the black woman from supporting one. That's a good one, too. Cut 3. That's a good one, too. Do both.
Let's do that. Let's do Cut 3 real quick.
Yeah.
I stand with Trump because he's basically representing us, and everything that they're doing to him is what they can do to us. Yeah. And the system is broken, and, he's fighting for us, So I like his policies. I like how he says it like it is, and, and Biden gotta go. I'm sick of it.
And what would you say to a black person that says that you're not black because you're voting for Trump?
Well, then I guess I identify as a white man. I don't know. I don't care what anybody has to say. I'm a mother. I care about the future of my child, and I care about policies over, rhetoric.
Then I guess I must be a white man, she says. That's the point, finally. And again, that woman didn't sound like she's, a political scholar who went to, some Ivy League school to study politics in America. She's just a person. She's an American person. Sounds like an average actual American happens to be black. And she's put it on the head. She says, I don't care what people thinking about stuff anymore. She should have had it probably anymore. I think an awful lot of Democrats, I don't know if he's going to turn the state blue. And I assume it's winner take all in delegates for the presidential primary in New York. I think some states, I'll try to look this up. I keep forgetting to do it. Some states have delegates based on what the percentage is of the vote. And I'm not sure whether that's still true because mostly winner take all. But again, I think there used to be some states, if the guy got 60% of the vote, he got 60% of the delegates. Which is a hell of a lot different than winner take all. If you miss by one vote and you get all of them, a hell of a lot different than getting almost half.
The New York Democrats are doubling their effort today of ballot harvesting and everything they need to do. They're worried.
Early voting? Previously filled out ballots, we'll take care of it for you.
For Biden to win this time, they're going to have to look us in the eye and tell us we cheated, because we know they cheated if he wins. There's no way he can win this election now. Yeah. No way.
Yeah. There's never been a president with this low a rating number that's even come close. Hell, Jimmy Carter had better ratings than this, and he didn't have a chance of getting it. It's not going to. It can't happen. No, it can't happen unless they cheat and unless they fix it.
They'll look us in the eye and cheat.
I know. It's unbelievable. Anyway, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, Friday, Memorial Day weekend on 106.3, 404-741-12. Oh, yeah, Flounder's Funnies, Nuckies, Hoagies.
All right, so this is a lengthy one. This is our friend Cat Williams talking about Hunter Biden.
Oh, here we go. Excellent.
I'm gonna say something to you that sounds like a motherfucker made it up, and it's really in the news. The FBI said they don't know whose cocaine was at the White House. What? I don't know what the is going on.
Whoa.
We don't know whose it is. It was in Hunter Biden's room. It said Hunter's blow on the bag. What do you mean, who's cocaine? It's crazy. Hunter on crack. Joe is doing the best he mother can. We done lowered the bar so low for Joe.
Bar so low for Joe.
As long as Joe don't fall, we be fine. Go on and get up them stairs, Joe. There you go. That's a boy.
Now you're talking. Good work.
Hunter on crack. Joe sleep. The only person really working at the White House, behind the scenes, is Joe Biden's German Shepherd named Commander. Commander has been 13 motherfuckers at the White House to this day. Commander is standing on business. Take his picture down, if you would. In case you wonder why you don't see Kamala Harris, she's scared of dogs.
Black women. Talk about a cliche. Black people don't like them dogs. No, I don't know whether that's still. It used to be a thing. But,
no, come on.
No, I'm
Black
serious.
People love dogs.
No, I'm telling you, there was a whole thing growing up as a kid. And it might have been from the riots in the South and the police dog stuff. But
there's no riots in the North.
Don't start. Oh my God! I'm not saying. I'm telling you, as a little boy, I remember the kind of a cliche was, well, people really don't like the big dogs, and that was probably a result of the civil rights things, not because. Oh my God!
When you were a young boy,
when I was a little, I was born a poor black child.
If I'm meeting a child. A young boy, or a girl for that matter, but particularly a young boy, I tell the kid, first of all, give it a good firm grip.
Handshake.
Don't just hold your hand out there. Give it a good firm shake. Give it a good firm grip. I get a little anal about this. I love to teach young kids, young boys.
Handshakes. 5 o'clock. Well, I got to leave early.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. This hour is presented by Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watches.
Welcome to your 3-day weekend. I'm John Saucier, Fox News. TSA predicting today will be the biggest day for air travel for this Memorial Day weekend. And for the roads, well,
we expect road trips will set an all-time record. With more than 90% of Americans traveling by car, or just about 38 million Americans traveling.
The voice there, Jonna Tidwell from AAA. As beaches around the Great Lakes open up for the summer, many Midwesterners are opting for staycations. Fox's Kelly Severis in Chicago.
The Midwest is being included in Travel and Leisure's list of the best beaches. We went to Oak Street Beach earlier this week to see what all the excitement is about. Today marks the opening of all of Chicago's 22 beaches and 26 miles of lakefront. So just about a couple of hours ago, the hundreds of lifeguards that keep people safe while they swim returned for the season. As more families choose to stay closer to home to save money, staying in town becomes that much more meaningful.
And with many choosing to staycation, data from AAA still shows the number of Americans traveling over this holiday weekend projected to reach its highest point since 2005. A lot of that is driven by cheaper airfare. AAA says it's down 10% compared to last year. Singer, songwriter, actress, and just all-time person Dolly Parton joining Fox's America's Report ahead of a Memorial Day weekend, promoting the latest attractions at her amusement park, Dollywood.
This week, we're opening my new museum. It's kind of multimedia experience. A lot of it's digital, but it's a really up-to-date version of a museum, and people are really enjoying that now. And we've opened a couple of new shows as well.
And plenty of people expected to visit Dollywood over this holiday weekend in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. America's listening to Fox News.
Well, the weather's warming up and summer's just around the corner. Everyone has a favorite outdoor activity: golf, bike riding, bird watching, long walks. Ask 100 people, you'll get 100 answers. But if everyday aches and pains are keeping you on the sidelines, I have one answer: Relief Factor. Relief Factor is a 100% drug-free daily supplement that helps your body fight pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor uses a unique formula of natural ingredients. It doesn't just mask pain, it helps reduce or even eliminate it. Wherever you're hurting, back, neck, joints, or muscles, in 3 weeks or less, you'll start to feel the difference all day, every day. So whatever you like to do, swimming, pickleball, hanging out in the garden, Relief Factor can help you feel good again and let you enjoy all your favorite outdoor activities all summer long. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF and save on your first order. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Fight pain naturally with Relief Factor.
Let's get it together, ladies. Left shoulder, right of flank. Ready on your dog. Target. Hair, help, hair, pastelio. Left shoulder. First squad to the rear. Hair, help, hair. Road guards out. Hair, help, hair, pastelio. Look out. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer with Pete Davis and Flounder on 106.3. Beginning of Memorial Day weekend. Again, I'll bet you're driving around out there and you know to take it easy. You'll get there. It'll be a lot better if you get there safe and sound. Maybe if you're a few minutes late. And I know we all say the same thing. And people are nuts out there. I've had more incidents with tailgaters for some reason the last really several months. Just this whole kind of a season that's been aggressive and nasty and fighting word stuff and pulling over and anyway. I don't know what's going on, but I don't like it. Well, it's where our country is. There's a lot of anger and division and hate and political divide and suspicion and cynicism, and it's and so we're keeping the faith. Got to keep the faith. I tell you, that rally last night by Donald Trump was freaking amazing. And if you didn't see it, try to Google it. Really, it was spectacular what it meant. Our number is 404-741-1230, 741-1230. If you'd like to join us on maybe a plan for Memorial Day weekend, what you're doing, are you traveling? How's the if you're traveling and you're stuck in traffic, you want to let us know about it, but we'll take that call too. Always happy to talk to you. With the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Holy Crap at Sports coming up a little later. And quickly on Memorial Day, in fact, Pete gave us a very interesting quiz earlier this afternoon about Memorial Day stuff, including that the original name for Memorial Day was not called Memorial Day. It was, and I got my whole thing.
Decoration Day.
Decoration Day. Originated following the Civil War, official federal holiday. It was only official holiday in 1971. We were all amazed when we came across that figure. Americans observe it frequently by going to national cemeteries, memorials, family gatherings, and so forth, parades, and officially marks the beginning of summer, even though that's not the exact date of summer. And it was to honor men and women who died serving in the U.S. military, and it is on Monday. The Civil War ended in 1865, claimed more lives than any conflict in American history. It's unclear exactly where the tradition started of decorating the graves of fallen soldiers with flowers and reciting prayers. The earliest records of Memorial Day commemorations organized by a group of former enslaved people in Charleston, South Carolina, just a few weeks after the Confederacy surrendered in 1865. But in 1966, the federal government declared Waterloo, New York, the official birthplace of Memorial Day. Now, if you don't mind, I would be remiss if I didn't. Every year, I think I pay tribute to this letter. And again, a very famous letter from one of the men who fought in the Civil War, and it's from Major Sullivan Ballou. And it strikes me the beauty and the flowery language. Again, he was an educated man. He was a politician. He was a Speaker of the House in Rhode Island or something. But still, the very words. And it's a very long letter. I'm obviously not going to read the whole thing. Just a minute of or something like that. But Major Sullivan Ballou had volunteered. He was a 32-year-old attorney in Rhode Island. Lincoln called for volunteers after Fort Sumter. He answered the call. He was elected major. He was doing a camp of instructions in the nation's capital, moved into Virginia, and penned a letter to his wife concerned that, quote, if he should fall on the battlefield, proved all too true. Here is part of the letter that he wrote to his wife, and again, I'll just do a little bit of it. I shall always be near you, dear Sarah, in the garish day and the darkest night, amidst your happiest scenes and gloomiest hours, always, always. And if the soft breeze fans your cheek, it shall be my breath, or the cool air cools your temples, it shall be my spirit passing by. Sarah, do not mourn me, dear, think I am gone, and wait for me, for we shall meet again. I know I have few claims upon divine providence, but something whispers to me, perhaps it is the wafted prayer of my little Edgar, that I shall return to my loved ones unharmed. If I do not, my dear Sarah, never forget how much I love you, nor that, when my last breath escapes me on the battlefield, it will whisper your name. Well, as it turned out, it doesn't end as a hero's death on the field of battle with a piercing letter to the young widow. He, in fact, proved all too true for the missive. The first major battle began in earnest, and Major Ballou was struck and killed as the Rhode Islanders advanced from Matthews Hill. He died. His wife was 24 years old. She moved to New Jersey to live out her life with her son, never remarried. She died at the age of 80 in 1917, and he and his bride, Sarah, are buried next to each other at Swan Point Cemetery in Providence, Rhode Island. And what a story. And again, just the flowery language, and it's just amazing. It's a 509, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. How's it going? 404-741-1230, 741-1230. A couple other things. We got politics I don't feel like talking about right now, but I do. And now I remember not exactly understanding what this was about, but I know you guys will because you're tech guys and I'm not. The Japanese Shiba Inu dog named Kabosu has passed away. Kabosu was the dog that inspired the Doge meme and the Doge coin. The Doge dog is dead. He inspired as a Doge coin. I think Dogecoin is how they pronounced it. The cryptocurrency, Doge, like with a Z. He was 18 years old. He had leukemia and liver disease, and his owner says she quietly passed away as if asleep while I caressed her. To all of you who loved Kabosu, in the morning of 24 May, Kabosu crossed the Rainbow Bridge. Thank you for your support over the years. She passed peacefully. The iconic Doge image dates back to 2010 in a Reddit post featuring the smiling dog looking at the camera with his paws crossed. Over the next several years, that image would become one of the most widely used internet memes, posting it alongside messages like, wow, so scared, or what are you doing? Kabosu would later become the face of cryptocurrency named Dogecoin. Originally started as a joke, the online currency would be shared by ex-owner Elon Musk before becoming the sleeve sponsor for the Watford Football Club. Fans are flooding social media with tributes in the wake of her passing. One Xer said, oh man, she will forever be an icon. We say goodbye to the beloved doggy behind the iconic Doge meme. Your adorable face brought joy to millions. R.I.P. You'll be missed. Thank you for all the loving memes. Face of Twitter in April after Elon Musk changed the site's logo to reflect the meme of Kabosu. Passed away at the age of 18. The doggy dog. Also, they're calling it kind of a miracle, and it certainly seems like it. The story of the little boy, the son of the rodeo star named Spencer Wright. 3-year-old Levi Wright was at the house in Texas, Utah. And he apparently was by himself, got out of the house and jumped on his toy tractor and drove his toy tractor into the nearby river and vanished under the water. somebody saw it and said, oh, my God. The mother dove in to save him. And let's see, Levi drove into the water. Somebody called 911 and told the dispatcher they can't see him under the fast-moving currents. His mom, Callie, realized he had sneaked off, ran to the river. She jumped in the currents to grab him. Her friend saying she was the one who found him. Thank God. They rushed him to the hospital, and he was in bad shape. He had a heartbeat, but he wouldn't wake up. He was totally unconscious. They had tests scheduled, and they said, this is looking bad. They went out on social media about prayers, and my baby's so tough. We'll see what's going on. Well, as it turned out, let's see, the monitor showed activity when his sister called him on video chat, and his monitor spiked, his monitor of his heartbeat. Same thing happened when they played him the dinosaur sounds from one of his favorite books. And again, when his mom started to give him little kisses, he spiked up in his EKG or MRI stuff. They're a very prominent family in rodeoing. The father, Bill Wright's inducted into the Pro Rodeo Hall of Fame, and Dad is ranked 35th in the world. His siblings are also renowned athletes. And even though Levi, they say he's a tough little kid, again, he's a rodeo boy, and he woke up, according to his mother, by his side and said, I'm shook. I don't know how much longer. The doctor says okay, but he's such a tough kid. He's a boy through and through. He's a cowboy through and through. He's a right through and through. They said they describe him as a sweet, kind little boy. He'll tell you, I'm a T-Rex and as strong as a T-Rex. And he was under the water for God knows how long, but he's alive. And I remember there was a story once I covered in Chicago of a kid in the wintertime went through an ice rink in Chicago, or not an ice rink, a pond, and was underwater for hours. But he lived. And the reason he did is because the cold water shut down his system. It actually froze his throat and his breathing apparatus, and he actually went into kind of an ice-induced coma. And when they got him out of the water, they were able to revive him again, bring his temperature back up to fairly normal, and he lived and was okay. It was a damnedest story. But he was in ice-cold water for a very long time. 5:13, cover Pete and Flounders. Let Her Rip Friday, right before Memorial Day into the weekend. Holy Crap of Sports is coming up next, and more fun stuff, Flounders funnies, and, stuff. Join us, will you? Cover Pete and Flounders.
The Morning Extra is live weekday mornings from 6 to 10, and here's what you missed. Are you an erectionalist?
Wait, I'm sorry. Maybe?
It's a really simple question. I don't know why you're having a hard time answering it.
Calls to the erectionists who stormed Capitol Hill Patriot.
They're carrying a big flagpole. So there's that.
The Morning Extra, 6 to 10 a.m. every weekday morning on XTRA 106.3 FM and the XTRA app.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Now, I know there are plenty of HVAC companies out there, but let me tell you why Central Heating and Air Conditioning stands out from the rest. These days, it's hard to tell who's on first. Everybody wants to play. Many of the local HVAC companies, though, have been sold to large conglomerates. And some are even coming back under new names. But at Central Heating and Air Conditioning, they never left the field. They've been your hometown team since 1947. And their dedication to our community has never wavered. They are the grand slam you can count on. Central's team of experts know the game inside and out, delivering dependable service and personalized solutions every time. So don't get caught off base. Choose the HVAC team that's always been in the game. Get Carrier products, Carrier warranty, and Carrier peace of mind. Turn to your Atlanta Carrier experts. Central Heating and Air Conditioning. Call them today, 770-GET-HEAT, or visit them online at centralheat.com.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Hey, sandwich lovers. Today's your lucky day. There's a whole new way to roll for lunch or dinner delight with Nucky's Hoagies in the Roswell Corners Shopping Center. Now open. Nucky's Hoagies in Roswell is family owned and operated by the Sub-Sisters, Stacy and Shannon, whose love language is food and Nucky's Hoagies, their passion. When you bite into a Nucky's Hoagie, you'll taste the difference. The softest hoagie rolls ever, along with hunger-quenching sandwich combinations. Make Nucky's Hoagies in Roswell on Woodstock Road your new favorite spot for lunch or dinner.
I enjoy a good night's sleep, and I like to breathe while I'm sleeping. My wife appreciates that, too. That's why I wear a CPAP. You want the right machine. You want expert advice. You want all the supplies that go with it. You get it all at CPAPs, etc. in Alpharetta. Machines, masks, tubing, filters, cleaning supplies, all of it, and they ship nationwide. Walk-ins, by the way, are welcome. CPAPs, etc. Alpharetta, cpapsetc.com.
Hear that? That's the sound of the annual Duck Pluck event, supporting Special Olympics Georgia athletes, and we need your help. Adopt a cute rubber duck today for just $10, and all proceeds will help provide everything from meals to housing for our Georgia athletes at the state games. So adopt your duck today at duckrace.com/Atlanta.
Hi, it's Glenn Beck, and I saw a statistic recently that jumped out at me. In 2017, home equity grew by a staggering $908 billion in America. That represents a 12% increase year over year. For most Americans, home equity is the biggest chunk of their personal wealth. At realestateagentsitrust.com, we see adult children who seek our help and sell their parents' homes. Often, the home is in a distant city and the condition of the home can be poor. And of course, our agents at realestateagentsitrust.com go above and beyond to help those families sell these homes, and that's a great feeling for everybody involved, including us. But it makes me wonder if there might be a better way. Have you considered looking at the equity you have in your home? It might be smart to sell now and downsize and have that equity to enjoy your golden years. If so, I urge you to go to realestateagentsitrust.com and let one of our agents see what might be possible by leveraging the equity in your home. realestateagentsitrust.com. That's realestateagentsitrust.com.
Here we go. Look out now. 5:18 in our 5 o'clock hour, sponsored by our good friends at Lee Brandt Jewelers, where luxury jewelry and watches are affordable. Drop by their store in Sandy Springs or visit LeeBrandt.com. And tell them the Kimmer sent you. Hey, holy crap, it's sports with Pete Davis.
Braves begin that 3-game set in Pittsburgh tonight after taking 2 out of 3 from the Cubs in Wrigley. They won't have to face Pirates phenom Paul Skeens, who pitched yesterday, but we'll get him sometime down the road. The 1-0 Ray Kerr for the Bravos tonight against one of the great names in baseball these days, Bailey Falter is pitching for Pittsburgh.
Bailey Falters?
Bailey Falter. He's a lefty, a 2-2 record, a 3.53 ERA. Let's hope he falters on the mound tonight. And I'm not the first to use that joke, nor will I be the last.
I think so. No.
It's obligatory, though, to mention it the first time you do it.
You just have to.
Yeah. Darno, Duvall, and Short in the lineup. Still no Austin Riley. Likely not back until Monday. All right, then.
Good.
The 29-year-old Kerr has a 2.89 earned run average in 4 relief appearances this season, striking out 10, walking nobody in 9 1/3 innings. The Bravos are 6 games back of the Phillies. The Bucks are in 4th place in the NL Central, also 6 games behind the Brewers. Now, catcher Chadwick Tromp may be going back down to Gwinnett soon as Sean Murphy homered again in his rehab start, his second one. But you can't say enough about the job that Chadwick has done backing up Darno since opening day when Murphy went down with that oblique. He really has been yeoman's work.
Suicide bunt scored a run just the other day, didn't he, if I remember correctly?
That was Zach Short that did that, I believe.
Oh, I thought you said I was that Trump guy. Either way, okay, we like the new guys. The guys who haven't been around here long, we encourage there.
The facts were right there.
I was so close.
In your grasp.
It was one of the newer guys. Again, I was like half and half.
That's true. Speaking of which, yesterday's starter A.J. Smith-Shawver put on the 15-day IL for straining his left oblique muscle.
I don't know what that means.
They also signed veteran infielder Mr. Wendell, Joey Wendell, and optioned Luke Williams to Gwinnett. At least Luke got to play in front of his sister yesterday, who works for the Cubs. She was in the stands. He got to see him make a really good play at third base, too. Wendell is 34, released by the Mets on Monday. He's batting .222, no homers, 1 RBI in 18 games. A career .262 hitter, 32 homers, and over 600 games with 4 teams. He was with Tampa Bay not too long ago and played very well for them. So we'll see. Yesterday, Jared Kelnick got the scoring started with a solo homer. Then Ozzie Albies added this.
First pitch, line down the right field line, a zinger, right on down the line. Kicking off the tarp, a run will score. There's an RBI single for Ozzie. Just blistered it right inside the bag, and it's 2-0 Braves with runners in the corner.
Ben Ingram on 680 The Fan. The Cubbies have been shut out 5 times already this season.
Oh, boy.
The Braves have done it to them 3 of those times in the last 2 weeks.
Oh, my God.
Mark Bowman of MLB.com tweets the Braves have an MLB leading 8 shutouts, 4 in the past 11 days, and 3 of those against the Cubs.
Holy cow. That's great.
Take that, Dansby. One of the weirdest and wrongest ways to end a ball game I've ever seen happen last night. I just happened to turn on the game, the only game on last night on TV, and it was the Orioles at the White Sox. The O's were 8-2 lead in the bottom of the 9th there in Chicago.
Okay.
The Pale Sox rally, which they don't do, made it 8-6. 6, 1 out. Okay, the winning run is at the plate. So this is going to be an exciting ending. I'm glad I tuned in. The table set, great finish. No. The White Sox, already the worst team in the major leagues, had this happen to them. With 2 on, 1 out in the bottom of the ninth, Andrew Benintendi popped up. Shortstop Gunnar Henderson caught the ball. That was a high pop-up. Umpires had called the infield fly rule anyway, so there's already an out.
Yeah.
It didn't matter if he called it or not. If he was within 100 yards, it didn't matter. He was out. That was the second out. And then third base umpire Junior Valentin ruled that Andrew Vaughn, who was the runner off second base, interfered with Henderson on the play, even though he didn't.
It shouldn't make any difference anyway if it was a pop fly out rule. Oh, my God. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
All Vaughn did was take a step or two to third base. He saw the pop up right beside him, so he started walking back to second. Henderson did have to go around him, but still had plenty of time to wave off his other teammates, stand under it, and catch it. It was several seconds. I mean, it was like 1, 2, 3. Vaughn didn't even know he was there, made no attempt whatsoever to interfere. Intent should be part of the rule. But crew chief Adrian Johnson said there's no discretion when a base runner appears to make incidental contact with the fielder. If he hinders the fielder, it's basically interference. The fans, who had very little to cheer about this season on the south side of Chicago, have been cheated out of an exciting ending. All baseball fans like myself who are watching felt cheated because of the stupid rule. Accidental interference should end a game. Especially when he actually did not interfere at all with the fielder catching the ball. It would be different if the shortstop ended up not making the play. But first of all, he made the play, which he didn't have to because it was the infield fly rule to begin with.
Do I misunderstand here? Are you telling me that he called 2 outs on the play?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Boom, boom. Game over.
When he hit the pop fly, it was the pop fly rule. It was over.
Dead ball. You think?
How can you call 2 out? Oh, my God.
So the crew chief said that, but guess what? MLB contacted the White Sox today and said about that. Maybe he should just use discretion at that point.
Now, why wouldn't they couldn't? I wonder. I guess you can't appeal that to the gang back in New York or wherever it is. They had to do it right then. Oh, my good grief. Now, can you replay it, or is that just the way it goes?
That's the way it goes.
Oh,
my
goodness.
I mean, who knows? They could. I doubt they change it. It won't matter with the White Sox. You can expect to continue to see Angel Hernandez butcher the strike zone for a while.
Got a dinner date.
Robo ump calls not ready for the majors just yet, and if it does come in the next few years, it'll probably be a challenge system, not just straight computer.
We lost part of you. What you're saying, I think, is that the computer umpire is not quite ready to go for next year. I think was that what you said?
It's not quite ready to go this year. Yeah. The Grand Poobahs of Vegas are promising the A's their new ballpark will be available by the start of the 2028 season. The Athletics are in their last year in Oakland. They're going to play the next 3, if not 4 seasons in a minor league park in Sacramento, which will still be an upgrade from Oakland. Alex Lang was the Tigers' closer. Not anymore. After a shaky start to the season, Lane wanted a new ball from the umpire during a game in Kansas City yesterday. When the ump was slow to throw him another one, Lane hurled a 90-mile-per-hour baseball into the net over the Detroit dugout, which prompted a quick mound visit from his manager, A.J. Hinch, who did not bother to put his hand over his mouth as he was talking to him. So we all got to see the lip reading that was going on. Alex Lang is now pitching for the Toledo Mud Hens.
He sent him down, did he?
Sent him down.
Don't do that kind of deal,
In their continuing effort to destroy college football as we know it, the NCAA and its 5 power conferences have agreed to allow schools to directly pay players for the first time in the 100-plus history of the sport.
Unbelievable.
They're moving forward with a multi-billion-dollar agreement to settle 3 pending federal antitrust cases. NCAA will pay more than $2.7 billion in damages. Don't know where they're going to get that money from.
Unbelievable. Wait,
let's see.
Billions of dollars in damages because what? They wouldn't pay the players over the years?
Right.
I mean, whoever thought they should pay them anyway until recently they came up with a scheme.
The players thought they should have been paid. It goes back 8 years, by the way, on this. Let's see. The settlement terms must be approved by a judge. She is presiding over all 3 cases. They probably will start sharing revenue in the fall of 2025. So we got 1 more year of football the way it is, and then it's going to change. Meanwhile, EA Sports has a list out on how much schools are getting paid for being in their video game. It's a 4-level tier system based on how you finished in the AP poll the last 10 years. Tier 1, you get about $100,000 per school. Tier 2 is $60,000. Tier 3 is $40,000. And Tier 4, the lowest, is $10,000 per school. 13 schools have reached Tier 1, including in the SEC, Georgia, Alabama, Oklahoma now, and LSU. Tier 2, Texas, Florida, Tennessee, Ole Miss, Auburn, Mississippi State, Kentucky, Texas A&M, and Missouri. Tier 3, Arkansas and South Carolina. And bringing up the bottom, Tier 4, Vanderbilt. Now in the Big Ten, Tier 1's Ohio State, Michigan, Oregon, and Penn State, and Iowa. But at the bottom, Nebraska, Maryland, Purdue, Rutgers, and Illinois. Nebraska down there, it's just amazing to see that. One team in the ACC is Tier 1, that's Clemson. Georgia Tech is Tier 3.
Wow.
So they got to work on that a little bit there. What I'm about to tell you is not a joke. After finally winning the NBA draft lottery, the Atlanta Hawks may choose Bronny James.
Bronny James. They're going to get Bronny? Oh, Jay Maroney, the Bronster? Oh, my God. Well, but finals every year for about 10 years. The Hawks are going to win it all for about 10 years. Ho! Or what?
If I knew that would ensue after I said that, I would not have said. That's what bettors on DraftKings believe. 37% say the Hawks will take LeBron's son ahead of Alex Sarr, who only gets 14% of the vote. Now, of course, this means nothing to the Hawks management. It's just fans thinking the team that gets Bronny will be able to lure Daddy LeBron to Atlanta.
Come on.
Good luck with that. Good luck with that.
Do you think the Hawks are going to pick his son number one? My God. I mean, they're going to get that big guy? Aren't they going to get that big French
Alex
kid?
Sarr, probably.
My God. You can't pass up on that guy.
You can't. Former LSU punkette Angel Reese is in the WNBA now, but she's still the jerk she was in college. I tell you what team she's on, but I really don't give a rat's ass which team she's on. But after that team won a game last night, she decided to attack both Charles Barkley and Caitlin Clark in a tweet, which read, "And that's on getting a win in a packed area, not arena, not just cause of one player on our charter flight." End quote.
And give the name of this girl again we're talking about for the sports fans.
Angel Reese.
Yeah.
She's a punk.
Yeah.
Anyway, after catching some flack, the courageous Reese took the tweet down. Leave it up. If that's what you believe, leave it up, okay? Yeah. We've seen this before when Tiger Woods, a person of color, raised the bar for golf and made the tour what it is today. Some white boy country club types back in the day then tried to tear him down. Remember what Fuzzy Zeller said about him?
Whatever they eat for the dinner, whatever they eat. Yeah.
Now, today we got a white girl, Caitlin Clark, trying to elevate the WNBA from its lowly status, and now you have some jealous black female athletes trying to tear her down. Racism is ugly no matter who's doing it, and it's detrimental to your sport. It's stupid.
A high tide raises all boats, too, by the way. I mean, isn't that still a thing? She's helping everybody.
They never believe that. Speaking of basketball, former NFL running back LaShawn McCoy needs a lesson in the bro code. McCoy recently told a story that 8 years ago here in Atlanta, he met an Instagram model he wanted to start dating. LaShawn promised to take her shopping, but the woman said, "No, thanks. I got somebody I'm hooking up with already who's a former pro athlete. Doesn't take me shopping. He takes me shopping in Paris."
Oh, yeah, Daddy.
McCoy agreed that was a better deal for her and said, "Okay, you should keep him." He then asked her, "Well, who is it?" And she said, I'm just quoting this, it was former Hawk center Dikembe Mutombo. No. Problem is, Dikembe has been happily married since 1995.
Oh, boy.
So McCoy is now being spanked on Twitter for, get this, dry snitching on Mutombo.
Dry snitching?
Dry snitching.
Is that like dry humping, or is that?
Well, it's when you snitch on somebody in an offhand manner.
You didn't really mean to, out
really
him. Well, if he did it, that's the way it goes. The girls, they're going to talk. They're girls. They can't help it. Anyway, I got a billion things here. Rich Rodriguez' birthday, Pete Davis, 61. It says here, college football coach who took the University of Michigan football program to unprecedented levels of terribleness before getting canned. So, anyway, more coming up. 5:30. Give her Pete Flounders, funnies, and actual stuff. Memorial Day weekend. Here we go. Look at this.
The legend Neil Boortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's Tug, and here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
This student rampage on college campuses across the country defies any rational explanation. This is mass hysteria based on complete ignorance.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watch Company, where quality and value make the difference. Locally owned and located in Sandy Springs, offering you the finest selection of unique diamonds, sapphires, rubies, and emerald jewelry, as well as other fine gemstones. Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watches has been servicing Rolex watches for over 30 years, and their Rolex-trained watchmaker will service your watch in their state-of-the-art Rolex service center in their store. Lee Brandt uses only genuine Rolex parts, and their estimates are free. Drop by Lee Brandt in the Trader Joe's Shopping Center in Sandy Springs or visit LeeBrandt.com.
The warm air, the beautiful weather, and the sounds of baseball. It's got you thinking about hitting the road. And no matter where your adventures take you, Subaru of Gwinnett has a vehicle to get you there safely and in style. Like the 2024 Subaru Outback, which will take you as far as you want to explore. With standard symmetrical all-wheel drive, plus up to 32 miles per gallon. And if you're up for adventure, it'll get you off the beaten path with up to 9.5 inches of ground clearance, more than the Honda CR-V or Toyota RAV4. Or the 2024 Subaru Forester, the SUV for all you love. It's the right size SUV for all the adventures ahead, with a spacious and comfortable interior for everyone you want to bring along. No matter where adventure takes you, it starts on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth with the amazing staff at Subaru of Gwinnett. They'll help you find the Subaru that you'll love and be there every step of the way for everything you need. Start your shopping online at SubaruofGwinnett.com.
Hey Atlanta, it's Mark from the Safe House. And now, the security riddle of the day. What's less secure than a fake safe from a furniture big box store? Joe Biden's fake border policy, of course. But hey, there is good news. This time next year, Joe Biden will not be president. So drop by Atlanta Safe House and check out the largest selection of safes in the Southeast. Build a wall around your valuables with a safe from the Safe House. We have certified delivery crews to install your safe. With over 30 years in the safe business, the Safe House is the place to buy safe in Georgia. So go to AtlantaSafeHouse.com.
There are crazies on the road. Who knows where they're all going, but if one of them hits you, don't take care of it on your own. Call my friend David Van Sant. He is the lawyer that used to work for the insurance company. The team at Van Sant Law knows who to call, what to say, and will make sure you get what you deserve and what the insurance company doesn't want to pay for. They have your best interest at heart and will take care of everything. If you don't get paid, they don't get paid. My advice, save Van Sant Law in your phone. Today, 855-GA-INJURY, VanSantLaw.com.
At Nelson Elder Care Law, we understand that family's everything. That's why we prioritize your family's future with personalized asset protection solutions. Call us today to schedule your legacy planning meeting and discover how our team can tailor our services to meet your family's unique needs, ensuring a secure and worry-free future. NelsonElderCareLaw.com.
Hey Atlanta, it's Ben, host of the Weekend Ben Burnett Show, proudly brought to you by Peach State Pride. Each and every weekend, we bring you all the issues going on around the globe and what America's ultimate role is in order to drive our agenda forward as conservatives. And if you ever miss an episode, you can download everything I've ever done on Apple, Spotify, or you can go to the podcast park. See you around, Atlanta.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911, online at stopmyed.com.
guitar picking. 536, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. 106.3, look out. It was on this day in 1970. Guitarist and founding member Peter Green played his last gig with Fleetwood Mac when they appeared at the Bath Festival in Somerset, England. Did they fire him? I don't know what the story is on here. He just had drugs, or
he went nuts on LSD.
Oh boy, that'll do it. That boy, I'm so glad, because I was in that. I never did drugs back when I was a teenager and preppy stuff. But man, that was when LSD, Timothy Leary, tune out, drop acid, drop out and tune out, or whatever the hell it was. I don't remember. Anyway,
tune in, drop out,
yeah,
something
like
else.
And honestly, I'd have been dead. I mean, because I have a horrible addictive personality.
Same thing happened to Sid Barrett, who was with Pink Floyd.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
actually, maybe I'm thinking more of Sid instead of Peter. I may have. I don't know. Peter did some drugs too.
Yeah, probably. Either way, you're probably covered. He probably did something wrong. What the hell? It's modern America. You can say anything you want. You don't have to be accurate. 537. See what I mean? A couple of sports things left over here, Pete Davis. Bartolo Colon birthday, 51 years old today.
Yeah.
A couple of historical things. In 1964, rowdy soccer fans might have set a record. Peru against Argentina. The last few minutes in a qualifier for the 64 Olympics. A referee disallowed a goal, and the Peru fans went nuts. Stampede, a riot, no crowd control, and it left 300 fans crushed to death in 1964 against Argentina.
You want to hear something funny I didn't have a chance to get to?
Yes.
You know that Detective Gillis of the Louisville Metro Police Department that arrested Scotty Scheffler?
Yeah. What?
Well, the media's been doing a little digging on the good detective.
Yeah.
And it sounds back in 2013, it's like the movie Superbad. Did you ever see Superbad?
No, I did not. I'm sorry.
Okay, the cops were doing some funny stuff in that movie.
Yeah.
According to the police chief, Steve Conrad, he wrote a report about Detective Gillis. It's, vote, you violated Standard Operating Procedure 5.1-3, conduct unbecoming, when you drove an intoxicated civilian in your police vehicle while on duty and proceeded to do donuts in a business parking lot.
Cop in the cop car with a civilian.
To recap, donuts in a squad car while a drunken passenger rode shotgun.
Was it? I'm guaranteeing a chick, right? It wasn't drinking buddy, probably some broad. Oh my God.
He's been suspended 3 times for missing court appearances.
Good grief. Well, I think this might add into a little something here with these so-called charges by the time it gets to court. We'll see. Some other sports things here. Pete Davis, 1935. The Cincinnati Reds and the Philadelphia Phillies played the first Major League game under the lights at night. The Reds won 2-1. 1935. The floodlight switch was thrown by President Franklin Roosevelt. 1935. 1950.
Didn't he do it?
What's that?
Doing it from the White House? Did he do it from the White House?
I think he did. I believe he did. It was his ceremony. I don't think he was actually at the game. 1950, Sweetwater gets a pro gig. Sweetwater Nat Clifton of the Harlem Globetrotters had his contract picked up by the New York Knicks. 1950. 1962, a change in the NFL game plan. Halftime will be cut to 15 minutes. And a couple of hockey things. This is amazing. 1990, the Edmonton Oilers won their NHL Stanley Cup for the 5th time. On this day in 1986, the Montreal Canadiens won the NHL Stanley Cup Championship for the 23rd time. Mm-hmm. Montreal Canadiens, one of the original of the thing there. Anyway, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 5:40 on the clock. Oh, let's do this, Flounder. John Sununu, the weird New Hampshire governor, Chris Sununu, was on it wasn't a podcast. It was a moderator holding a seminar, a broadcast thing with the Presidential Foundation Institute called RISE. Moderator Fred Ryan was asking Governor Chris Sununu of New Hampshire about the differences in dynamics between governors, how they get along between governors and congressmen, for example. And Sununu was kind of asked about who he thinks he gets along with and who's really who in the governor's races these days.
Governors are CEOs. Governors have to deliver. So how can governors play a bigger role in leading us out?
Yeah, again, lead by example. And I think, look, almost all the governors get along. I mean, in my 8 years, I can honestly tell you there's really only been 2, maybe a third, but 2 real governors that really nobody liked. Nobody cared for at all. I don't mind.
Would you say who they are?
Do you really want me to? Yeah, Andrew Cuomo, complete jackass. No one likes him. And I got to be honest. No one cares for Gavin. Gavin's just a excuse me.
California nuisance.
He just is. It's really disappointing. I got along with him. All of us got along for a while. But even the Democrats, they won't tell you out loud. But behind closed doors, you're like, oh God, look who's coming.
That is Governor Chris Sununu of New Hampshire. He also went on to say right-wing lawmakers like Marjorie Taylor Greene is a fool. Is there any bill that she's ever even passed? Or GOP Florida Representative Matt Gaetz. He said they don't do anything. They raise a ton of money off it, just to get themselves showmanship of their extremism. They don't actually functionally do anything for the betterment of good governance and civics. Reach for comment. Matt Gaetz said, while Governor Sununu has been a failing surrogate for even more failing Nikki Haley's campaign, I've been working to get 1,000 troops out of Niger. So anyway, they're doing a little munga-da-hunga there. 541. Also a bizarre story. I never really followed this, but the guy named Morgan Spurlock was famous as the Super Size Me star. This guy won an Oscar nomination for a groundbreaking documentary 20 years ago where he ate McDonald's for 30 days in a row, and that's all he ate, to see what would happen. The outcome was shocking. He gained 24 pounds and his liver ballooned. He also made $20 million in this documentary around the world, kickstarted a fresh food revolution in the fast food industry. He was skeptical about how much change really would be done after what happened to him when he gained all that weight eating nothing but McDonald's. Has the food gotten healthier? He says, well, the marketing sure has gotten healthier. Well, unfortunately, Mr. Spurlock has passed away. He was only 53 years old, died from complications from cancer, had been undergoing chemotherapy. I don't think it says what kind of cancer he had. The follow-up to the Super Size Me 2, Holy Chicken, was taken off the Sundance Film Festival after Spurlock admitted to sexual misconduct in 2017. He was accused of rape in college, settled a harassment case with a girl at the office. He said, I was unfaithful to all my wives and girlfriends. For me, quote, there was a moment of kind of realization. Somebody who was a truth teller and somebody who has made a point of trying to do what's right, of recognizing that I could do better in my own life. We should be able to admit we were wrong. He stepped down from a company he had founded, a production company, and that was a ballgame. Anyway, he passed away at the age of 53. 540. Oh, by the way, I saw this the other day. The Cracker Barrel apparently is really in big trouble, especially after their chief executive, Julie Massino, told investors at a business meeting, we're just not relevant anymore. My company sucks, so, but, don't hold it against me. So she says we're not relevant. And the fact of the matter is the company's 54 years old. Their shares have fallen by 20%. Let's see. They rose to prominence in 1969 as patrons flocked to its all-American dishes like biscuits and gravy and fried chicken. They are known for their elderly people who show up all the time. They make it like a routine all the time. And now they're not going back anymore after the China kill virus. They just stopped showing up again. Plus, Cracker Barrel's menu, they've chopped 20 things from the item, replacing them with dishes like premium savory chicken and rice, slow braised pot roast, hash brown casserole, shepherd's pie, which they'll introduce this fall to try to get the menu back to people who want kind of old country eating. The company faced backlash in their policies when they had a hard time keeping up with their senior clientele and trying to get the Gen Z people. Last year, you recall, Cracker Barrel accused of going woke when they lined its front porches not with their regular old rocking chairs, but rainbow-colored rocking chairs during Pride Month. So people started boycotting. They have locations in 45 states, and people said, I don't think so. So they may or may not make it. They're struggling to rally customers, trying to change the menu and see what happens. In fact, Pete, you mentioned, I don't know whether it was privately or about other restaurants like Red Lobster's is going out of business, basically, and some others. And I was thinking, I remember, and Flounder, I'll bet you haven't even heard of some of these, like Arthur Treacher's.
Oh, yeah. My mother loved it.
Flounder, have you ever heard of Arthur Treacher?
It sounds familiar. I mean, the one place we always went to was Piccadilly Cafeteria.
Piccadilly. Arthur Treacher's was a fish place. How about Burger Chef? Not Burger King.
Chef.
Burger Chef.
I love Burger Chef.
Cheese. Howard Johnson, see the 28 flavors. Remember, they had the restaurants, and they were the ice cream part of the 28 flavors at Hojo's.
How about Shakey's Pizza?
They were great, by the way, too. Lums, you remember? You ever have Lums down here?
Here in Atlanta?
Morrison's Cafeteria. I think they're gone now.
Shoney's, H Salt Fish.
Yeah, Sambo's.
Remember?
Yes, I remember.
You guys remember Mighty Casey's?
What's that?
Mighty Casey's?
I don't know that.
Yeah.
It was a hamburger joint. There was only a couple of them, but they were here in Atlanta.
Steak and Ale, Victoria Station.
Yeah, I
remember
love
Victoria Station?
Okay.
Great steak. A great roast beef.
You go to Steak and Ale for family get-togethers, but if you wanted to impress a date, like
go
prom
to Victoria
night, you
Station.
go to Victoria
That's
Station.
Right. That's where I found out that my dog Heidi, Rin Tin Tin's great-granddaughter, my German Shepherd special dog Heidi, had passed away because my mother had been visiting and didn't want to tell me until we were out in public, so I wouldn't go nuts. And
so you cry in public?
Oh, I cried in public. I don't give a damn. Hell, I cry on the radio. I cry anywhere I want, you know.
Bennigan's was great hamburgers.
Bennigan's,
behind North Lake,
and they had a great hamburger cheese dip too. Oh man, it was good. It's 5:47. Holy criminy! It's the Kira, Pete, and Flounder. Funny's coming up and wrapping it up Memorial Day week.
Wheel of Fortune too coming up.
Wheel of Fortune. Here you go.
Stream Clay Travis and Buck Sexton, Glenn Beck, Fox News, and even NASCAR on Sundays. Anywhere on the XTRA 106.3 app. Download the app now and get 24/7 access to the live stream, the latest news, and everything you need to know about Atlanta's only conservative talk station. Download the XTRA 106.3 app for Apple or Android and check out even more great original content at thepodcastpark.com.
Hey, it's Lowe's for Howard Brothers and Honda Generators. You never know when a power outage will strike Atlanta and North Georgia. That's why you need a Honda generator from Howard Brothers. Honda generators are reliable, economical, and portable. They will work for you when you need it. You can get a whole house backup, or you can just keep your essentials working until power is back up. Howard Brothers has locations all around town that sell Honda generators. Learn more at howardbrothers.com/Honda generators. It's time for you to be powered by Howard Brothers and Honda.
Tax season can be stressful, but it's also a wake-up call. It's time to think beyond April and plan for your future. At Master Plan Retirement Consultants, we're not just advisors, we're your partners in building a secure retirement. At Master Plan Retirement Consultants, we understand the challenges Georgians face. That's why we offer personalized strategies to maximize your retirement income, minimize taxes, and ensure you never outlive your assets. Join the Master Plan family and let us guide you through every financial milestone. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your appointment today. Master Plan Retirement Consultants, where your journey and destination are both important. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
Don't miss a minute of the action this season as Georgia Tech men's basketball takes the court in the Camas Pavilion in Midtown Atlanta.
Into the lane, fadeaway jumper, he knocks it down, and a foul!
Secure your seat in the Thriller Dome to watch head coach Damon Stoudemire and the Yellow Jackets take on top-ranked opponents all season long.
Dives down the lane, shoots the scoop, and he scores!
Get your tickets today at RamlinRack.com. Sting 'em.
This is Dan Watkins with All Four Seasons. We've always been Atlanta's best at installing and servicing garage and entry doors, but you would be surprised at how many windows we've installed as well. So we're proud to announce a new division, All Four Seasons Windows. We now have the ability to make sure every opening in your house is safe, energy efficient, and looks darn good. So give us a call today to schedule your free sales consultation. Find out how you can decrease your energy bills and increase the beauty and value of your home with All Four Seasons garage, entry doors, and windows.
Marketing is everywhere. From the billboards on the highways to the notifications on your phone, we are constantly bombarded with people trying to sell us stuff. What makes good marketing? Are you doing enough in your life personally and professionally to market yourself? You have questions, and the Marketing Madmen have answers. Tune in every Saturday, now at 4 p.m., right here on Extra 106.3 to get practical marketing advice from expert guests who are shaping and reshaping the business world. They say marketing is a madman's game. Join the Marketing Madmen every Saturday at 4 p.m. to find out why.
Horizon Background Screening is a fully licensed and insured private investigations firm that focuses on litigation support for law firms, criminal defense cases, and background investigations. We are also FCRA compliant and process pre-employment background checks, tenant screening, and background checks for volunteer organizations. Whether your business is a law firm needing anything from scene investigations to witness interviews, or a company that requires pre-employment background checks, we have the experience you need. Visit horizonscreening.com to learn more. That's horizonscreening.com.
And low jazz Rooney here for you. Elmore James, 1963.
Jazz is blue.
Money maker, baby. Well, it says Elmore James, U.S. blues guitarist and singer Elmore James died of a heart attack at age 45 in 1963. He wrote Shake Your Money Maker, covered by Fleetwood Mac in 68, known as the king of the slide guitar. Elmore James influenced Jimi Hendrix, B.B. King, Stevie Ray Vaughan, and Keith Richards, among others. Elmore James.
And a Beatles song, you can hear George Harrison say about John Lennon playing, "Take that, Elmore James."
Oh, no kidding. Well, he was definitely a force. No question about it. Speaking of forceful music, Patti LaBelle, 80 years old today. Holy cow, Lady Marmalade and so on. Patti LaBelle is 80. Alfred Molina, 71. The half-Spanish, half-Italian, born in England actor with movie star in America. Dr. Octopus in Spider-Man 2. Indiana Jones's guide at the beginning of Raiders of the Lost Ark, among other things. Let's see. Roseanne Cash, 69 years old today. And on this day in 1859, Charles Gounod's powerful opera Ave Maria was performed for the first time in public by Madame Caroline Mioline Carvalho in 1859. What a beautiful song that is, or I guess call it a song, the opera, Ave Maria. And let's see, this day 10 years ago, 2014, Kanye West married Kim Kardashian. And then it says here, she foolishly let him go, and their divorce was finalized 8 years later on this day here. And 50 Cent was shot sitting in a parked car on this day 24 years ago in 2000. Just sitting there and boom, pow, somebody shot him. So that's not a good story. Let's see. Excuse me. Civil War letters. Again, this is where it started. Decoration Day became Memorial Day, which is celebrated next Monday. We will be off from the station. Joe, what's his name? Fela, Tommy Fela, Billy Fela, Tommy Rippy Fela will be
Jimmy
Fela will be doing it. And just a quick part of a letter written from one of the Civil War soldiers, Samuel D. Longhead, to his wife Jenny, October 7th, 1862. 'Tis hard to see the mighty prancing war horse trampling the dying and dead beneath their merciless feet. No dear wife near to speak a word of comfort. No living sister or mother to administer relief in that hour the most sad in the history of humanity. Oh, the humanity, horrors of war. Truly it may be considered the most cruel and awful scourge which can befall a nation. Heaven grant there may be an end soon. My dear, I hope to see you again. How will I hail the day when I return to the bosom of my family?
So bye-bye, Jenny.
Adios, baby doll.
Sending me to Vietnam.
Jenny.
In fact, that was on, I think it was last night. Forrest Gump was on last night. And,
but you can say, I mean, that...
I didn't, I can't watch it again. For some reason, that's a movie I just don't want to watch again.
You don't enjoy watching?
I don't know why. Again, I've got DVR and Platoon, which is, I think, on right now. I forgot what time of day it's on. And I'm probably not going to watch that again, even though I should have it.
A whole argument on the internet that she is one of the great villains of movie history, Jenny.
Jenny. Well,
yeah.
She is kind of, I guess.
I mean, what a nasty character.
Yeah.
I mean,
she strung him along.
Yeah.
She had sex with him, had a baby, didn't tell him. I mean, just horrible.
Just a hippie's tramp and anti-war. I mean, the whole that was what the country was going through. That was it.
Would you consider that a war movie?
Yeah,
parts of it. Yeah,
you would have to. Sure. I mean, he won. Was awarded the medal. I didn't mean to say that. Was awarded the Medal of Honor for saving guys in Vietnam. So yeah.
Sorry, I ruined your Black Panther party.
I gotta pay. I must have had me 15 Dr. Peppers.
Oh, speaking of funny words and stuff, Flounder, how about this? Ladies and gentlemen, we're warning you in advance. Wheel of Fortune contestant, internet shame last night thanks to a bizarre X-rated guess to a puzzle sent the audience going into nuts. The 4-word phrase was blank, 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 N-T-E, a blank E, and then the last letters were T. And so it was like something in something. Well, here's what the guy blurted out as he saw the board and took his guess.
Tavares, right in the butt.
What?
No.
No, I'm so sorry.
Blake.
This is the best.
Yeah,
That's it, I think.
Oh,
and that's not quite as bad as the famous Bob Eubanks one from the Newlywed Game, where the girl actually said the bad word. But again, right in the and of course it couldn't be that because the word "right" is 5 letters and you only had 4 on the board. But anyway, still, I mean, what
R-I-T-E.
well, that's not a word. That's a
Rite
pharmacy. Anyway, and so one guy said, "Sir, this is a classy show. Come on now." It's not safe for work all of a sudden.
The funny thing is after Pat Sajak said, "We'll figure that out." I'm not sure how we're going to figure it out, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah. Anyway, that was pretty damn funny. And by the way, you guys, in your Netflix stuff, your funny man Shane Gillis is apparently making a big hit with audiences, but not with the critics on his new show after he was booted off Saturday Night Live. And it's called, what's the name of the damn thing? I can't find the name of the show. His new show.
Something about like a tire shop. Him and his buddies work at a tire shop.
The new show's been renewed for a second season before it has even aired. It's a Netflix streaming series with a comedian statue, Funny Miss Grandad. Now, where the hell's the name of the show? The release of the new sitcom series, and they haven't gotten the name of it yet. Returned to NSL, they're the thing. Oh, and works at an auto shop. Much of the comedy drives from his tormenting his co-worker and cousin. The new series Tires. Oh my God! It took them a third way down the page to mention the name of the freaking show. God, these writers they don't know how to write.
Horrible.
God, it's called Tires, and it's a comedy show about a mechanic and making fun of people, stuff like that. The critics aren't nuts about it, but the fans are going crazy. And this guy, again, Shane Gillis, the guy that kicked off at Saturday Night Live and made a thing, and now he's making a huge comeback, which is cool. Oh, by the way, I don't think you're supposed to do this. A priest on Sunday in Florida had a fight with a woman who tried to take the communion bread, the body of Christ, and she tried to grab it, and he tried to grab it back, and so she was hanging on to him, so he bit her. The priest giving communion bit her to get her hand off his hand and grabbing the communion way body of Christ, my butt. Holy smoke. Anyway, little Flounder's funny as we adios our way out of here, Flounder, if you don't mind.
Babies are a lot of work. I try and pitch in. I do diapers. I mean, I don't change them, but I go, you got to do this diaper. We have 3 other kids, too, a 7-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 2-year-old. I should probably learn their names. Try and be a good dad. I sat the older 3 down and I explained to them that the new baby does not mean I love them any less, but I will have to let one of them go. So if anyone knows of a toddler rescue, maybe we could get Sarah McLachlan to do the commercial. I love that commercial. Even the dogs in that commercial are like, this is a little heavy-handed, Sarah. Not just dogs. There's still kids starving in Africa, right? I mean,
the dogs are
I don't like that joke at all.
And that, my friends, is
Jim Gaffigan.
Jim Gaffigan. Hot Pockets. Anyway, God bless America. Gotta go, you kill me. Stolen the camera, Pete Davis and Flounder. Memorial Day Monday, Semper Fi, Ooh-Rye, and God bless America. Be careful out there. Herb, come on, Christine, drive me home, baby girl. Herb.
This is WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. Locally owned and heard throughout Georgia on the XTRA app.